DC to the beaches of Maryland. We cover Liberia like nobody else does. This is Spoon 107.5 FM. New, urban, ethical, authentic, sports, entertainment, something for the old, something for the new, something for everybody in between. We leave nothing untouched. We are Spoon 107.5 FM.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEOs, Dan coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To get your information, to the spoon, to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment.
Yes, information.
Dan coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, to spoon. spoon. Yeah, Tuto spoon. If you eat cake and graduate, my brother Tuto spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, Tuto spoon. Yeah, Tuto spoon. You wanna get a news update, Tuto spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon.
Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment.
Gua. Bese gua, go to there. Go to there.
And of course, you're listening to Spoon 107.5 FM. Today is Friday, the 4th day of October 2024. I'd love to say a pleasant night to you. Those of you listening to us all across Liberia, I'd love to say hello. How you doing? Welcome to the show. For those of you watching us all around the world via our various online platforms, Super TV, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and via YouTube as well, I'd love to say, yeah, hello, yeah, my people. Yeah, welcome to another edition of Liberia's premier talk show. This is the #1 talk show in the entire country. And of course, this is the Spoon Talk. My name is Diamond Slanger. I'm producing tonight. The rest of the panelists are definitely going to come on board for you to be treated to a wonderful presentation as always. So wherever it is you're watching us from, kindly do share the show. Please do that. Do share the show. Copy the link. Send it in as many groups as possible. Send it to your friends, your family, your loved ones, so that they too can be informed. What you need to do is just copy the link, share the show. Please do that. Please do that for us. So that we can get as many Liberians as possible on following the latest happenings in the country. And talking about latest happenings, we'll be telling you some of the pick of the pile information we have to share with you. Before the rest of the panelists can come on board, we'll open the phone lines for Liberians to tell us what's on their minds. A lot of things happening in the country. A lot of information. Kona Samuka, what place you coming from? Where I betrayed Nelson? I betrayed. On my phone, let me show you Nelson. The number of times Nelson and myself spoke to you. Where is that coming from? Where you betrayed Nelson, you betrayed Nelson, you betrayed. I betrayed Nelson. How? Yeah. Nelson Colette. We just talking about today. Then you say I betrayed the man. How? What kind of false accusation is that I betrayed Nelson? How now? I'm confused myself. So please tell me, how did I betray Nelson? Explain to us, because you seem to know so much that I don't even know. Well, to all the folks watching us, we'd love to say a pleasant welcome to you. Earlier this afternoon, there was the presentation of Spoon Talk Business, and talking about Spoon Talk Business, there you have Dr. Richardson, one of the champions of Spoon Talk Business. It's not every day we talk politics. It's good to diversify. So Spoon Talk Business is there to provide you that platform. Don't think about it like, be sure down there, my business are doing it small. No, make use out of the opportunity. There is last price. If you talk to Lorena, you talk to Madam Titi, you talk to Dr. Richardson, you can come up to a compromise and you can expose your business venture to Liberians home and abroad. Make use of publicity. Come on Spoon Talk Business, talk about your idea, even if it's a pitch, even if it's a pitch. Come and give that pitch, and you might have people interested in that pitch as well to promote your idea. We talk about job creation. You can be your own entrepreneur, so you can do that. And Spoon Talk Business is that platform to parachute your business, your venture to success as well. Dr. Richardson, how are you, ma'am? You look radiant.
Oh, thank you, Diamond. Thank you so much for promoting Spoon Talk business. You know, as you was talking, I had a brief fleeting thought about your barber, the person. I think you guys had a discussion. I'm
Yeah.
dying for them to come and make a presentation and advertise the business here. Spoon Talk business. One of the things that I'm looking forward to, Diamond. You know, our culture. I realize, and I've known this, but it's even more profound, and it's even more telling here when people call in and I hear them talk. We are oral culture, as opposed to some culture are written and some culture are reading culture. So don't feel like you can't talk or you can't pronounce your business, or just talk to Madam Titi, talk to Diamond, talk to Lorena. They will help you, and we can make you sell your business. We can promote your business here. What are you the champion for the market women, or the Willa market, or the shoe shop boys, whatever it is, we borrow seller, we can help you here sell your business and make you more successful. So I just wanted to share that with you. But it was a wonderful, wonderful show. Um, and it
All
was,
right.
yeah. Especially, it's very surprising, liberalization policies. You heard of that, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. When you read that list, it surprises you, like what the list says and what is happening in Liberia.
It's what ought to be than what is. All right. So to you, Na Gordon says, please wish my daughter Jayla Gordon a happy belated birthday. So Jayla Gordon, on behalf of the Spoon Network, your father as well, your family wants to wish you a happy belated birthday. So you're still in celebratory mode. Wish you a happy belated birthday. Wish you everything that you wish for yourself. A lot of things happening in the country, Dr. Richardson. You know, there's information filtering in again. I'm sure that is going to be one of the talking points of the show today. That reportedly, again, I want to use reportedly, there was a fist fight, whether a verbal argument, a verbal altercation, a passionate exchange, or whatever it is, that might, or that is reported to have occurred at the Ministry of Public Works. And talking about public works as well, the ministry today began, breaking structures in the alley. They started on the old road. They started on the old road. I followed that. The minister was there in person. Um, some painful actions need to be taken. If you read the news all across our country, it's just one flooding situation to the next, from Grange there to Riverside. There's flooding, parts of Montserrado County, homes, being flooded as always during the rainy season. And though it's a natural phenomenon, the rain, but as we do discuss, some of the contributing factors to the flooding that we have in our country has got to do with man-made situations. One of the places called Jamaica Gold Camp in Grange, that you fell all of the trees. You fell all of the trees. You don't have vegetation. You don't have trees to serve as water break and wind break and natural barriers. We dig. We do our own, undermining of the earth. And when these things happen, one night I was coming twice. I was coming home from work, and by the time I was turning to my house, and then the light flashed on some individuals. You know what they were doing? They were taking the sand
Wow.
from around the school building
Amen.
because they want to protect their own homes. So they are undermining the school by collecting the sand in bags. I say bags, an entire family. So I stopped. It was after 12, 1 going to 1 in the pitch dark, the cover of darkness. So I asked them, I said, you people need to stop. I told them, I said, you need to stop what you're doing. What you're doing is you're undermining the school. You're taking away the sand that is supposed to help, to serve as a water break. And as you dig this place, you undermine the school, the water will flow with more force and go right to your homes again that you're trying to protect, So you need to stop. They said, okay. The next night, I bought out again. So then I took the phone and said, I'll take your picture. Yeah, I'll take your picture.
Yes.
I'll take a picture because you're taking all the rocks, you're taking the sand, you're undermining the structures and everything. I will take your picture and then we'll go look for you in a day.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
Yes.
So we need to educate our people. It's good that you want to protect your structure, but you cannot do it at the detriment of others. You can do
Yes.
that. And in
Diamond,
a community, they were doing it.
it's money that children go to school too, or their relatives.
A
You know,
community school, everybody going there.
you see, you know, and sometimes you don't blame the people, Diamond, when they say we are our own worst enemy. We're doing it to ourselves. And so, this climate change, we are a contributor to the flooding in our country, to the bad water, the illness in the country. So it is painful. We gotta change. We gotta change. We gotta be mindful. Okay, we gotta protect our country. We gotta protect the people around us. We gotta show empathy for others. We gotta critically think. Diamond, today it's been a Liberia. I want to say Liberia Working Friday. I did teach last night, as many of you probably know. On Thursdays, I'm teaching, and I have 2 classes, so I'm kind of tired on Friday mornings. And when I get home, I like to kind of warm up and walk slowly until spoon talk. But today, at 12 o'clock today, so first thing, my grandson and my alarm system, and I even got to put alarm on here. That guy, boo, 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 and start with his grandma talk. Okay, so he woke me up earlier than usual. So 12 o'clock, I did the presentation along with my students. Actually, my students did the presentation. I had about 6 doctoral level students who are studying to be clinical psychologists. They're studying to get a doctorate degree in psychology. And so we did a presentation on what is wellness. The presentation lasted more than we thought. It was an hour and 30 minutes, from 12 to 1:30, basically. And it was by way of Zoom. And we asked them, what is wellness? They were very smart. Oh, I was so impressed, Diamond. We got some really, really, even the students, because we didn't know what to expect. This is the first one, in the series of presentations we'll be doing. And they were paying attention. I noticed, I'm a victim of that. I don't know, a victim. I'm a benefactor of that. We write notes, very good notes in Liberia. They had a note that passed, writing notes, and they ask great questions. So when we discuss different dimensions of wellness, for example, physical wellness, physical and nutrition wellness, something that we don't talk about often. They have wonderful questions about exercise. I didn't even know, we didn't even talk about exercise when I was growing up. I'm old school now. When you go and play kickball, yeah, old school now.
Why you play keyboard?
You play keyboard, you go and play keyboard. I want to exercise for the day. You walking from school.
You actually play keyboard at Regency?
Yes, I did. Anybody ask about old time keyboard in Bonner School guard. Who were the 2 most popular guards?
Oh, your keyboard knee.
I got keyboard knee, but I play keyboard.
Were you feared when you come and kick people start going behind?
Yes, they start dressing past small because we don't want to pass it. We used to pass it.
I'm asking you. Don't run away.
I want to keep one team. I want to keyboard team and basketball team. In fact, I played as who are the 2 most popular guards for Bontan School in the 1980s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't talk about it a lot because but there were 2 of us, and we beat Convent, we beat Katura, we beat MC. Okay, we used to come and stay in a girls' hostel. That time they had a Methodist hostel in Single there. That's where we used to stay, and we go play at the YMCA on the corner there. So yes, so and then we keep.
Right. I just wanted to know, as we talk, we'll get to know a lot of details. But back to our wellness, I'm interested in what you're saying, physical wellness.
So the students, so that I was telling them I want to exercise. How keyboard was helpful to me, how it wasn't helpful. I was playing game. Okay. So for these children, they were asking, like for example, are your muscles supposed to hurt when you exercise? How many times do you think is a good exercise regimen? What is a good? So those were the questions. We didn't come prepared to answer those questions. I mean, we answered them, but we were astonished that they were asking such questions. Then we talk about psychological wellness, and your emotional wellness relates to how you take care of your mental health, how your belief and your action align. Okay,
Hmm.
how you know, a lot of times our children and there's somebody asked, how do I know if my belief is aligning with with the actions that I take? That was one of the questions that were being asked. So it was really good. We talk about mental health. What is good mental health? What is bad mental health? Somebody wanted to know about happiness and sadness. What makes us happy and what makes us sad? So we had to talk about that. Social wellness, the way you interact with people, your interpersonal skills, your intrapersonal, which is you. Are you okay with all the parts of yourself? Or is that part when you get in the morning, are you telling yourself negative things? I'm not farming. I ugly, I do shot, those kind of things. Spiritual wellness. Maybe some people worship, a lot of us were a Christian nation, that's what it says, but we worship different. Maybe people in our community worship different things. How you worship, what helps you? Do you meditate? Do you pray? Do you slow down? Somebody ask us, so how many hours are we supposed to sleep at night? What if you don't get the hours that you're supposed to sleep because too much noise going on, people dancing around you and stuff like that? What do you do about it? Or if you're being too hard, they were asking great questions.
Mhm.
Intellectual wellness. What does it mean? Critically think. How you improve your intellectual capacity, your intellectual ability? How do you improve that? Do you read? How would you think about plan B? You always have plan B, not just one track way. And we're talking environmental wellness, picking up the same thing we're talking about right now, picking up the trash, not digging holes, not getting sand, protecting the environment, because you're made out of the environment. And if you destroy the environment, you will be returned to the environment,
Mhm.
first before you go. For some people believe in going, to heaven or hell, but you will be returned from dust to dirt, from dirt to dust. So we talked about that, and then last we talked about financial wellness. It was very interesting. The children told us a lot of them sell. They were telling us, somebody said that they made their garden and they sell okra. And some of them say they drive their little bike and keke and stuff like that. But it was so interesting, and so we'll be back. It was specifically talking about exercise and nutrition, which I didn't even think that was something they would have loved to know more about, and a couple of other series of topics that we'll talk about. So we have a workshop survey that they have, where they will tell us topics that they are interested in, and we'll review it and then see what we can offer to them. But it was great. They had refreshment later. We didn't stay for it, but it was fun. I was just impressed. My goodness, the kids were impressed. I was kind of disappointed because there were about only 2 or 3 girls. Majority of them were guys. So, but the girls held their own. They asked good questions too. Yeah. Why is it like that, Tom? Are you laughing? Why is it this less
Oh,
girl?
oh no, nothing. I was just laughing because the way you stress on the girls, and there was a pause. There was a pause after you mentioned 2 or 3 girls, but actually it's a good initiative. You know, I appreciate that. As you were speaking, I got a lot of knowledge from all of what you just said, because trust me, I didn't know that there are so many different components and facets to wellness. So all of what you were saying, I was taking mental notes to go and read on properly. And I also want to appeal to you. I know your time is precious, it's expensive, as the CEO usually says. You charge a lot for your hours, but giving back is also a good gesture, and so I must applaud you for that. I know you have a bias towards Bong County, but after the Bong initiative, we need such workshops across our educational sector in our country, because sadly we still lack a lot, and these exposures, they help us. So they build people's confidence, as rightly said by Freeman. Once you know these things, I sat in critical thinking class on Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and it was insightful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it lets us know that we we are our own problems. the fact that we don't critically think, we don't critically analyze, we don't add all of the factors needed to make sound judgments. That is why we are preyed upon by our politicians, because they know that we don't critically think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen in an advanced country, in a country where the literacy rate is so high and people think critically. You're not just going to take the people for a ride. It doesn't work like that. Because even as a teacher, when you have a class that is not academically strong, you can walk in that class and say anything to the students, and they'll put their books under their arms and walk out of the class and take whatever you said to them. But if you have a class where the students research, they far ahead of you, they critically think, they critically analyze, they critically read. You as an instructor, you be on top of your game. I know you can't just go to your students with Dr. Regency and go tell them anything off the top of your head. You can't do that.
No, and Diamond, just to interrupt a little bit. So after the show, I have to go and read, especially on Wednesday night. I'm up late, so when you guys see me in the chat room sometimes at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, that's what I'm doing. Because if I don't read, my students will challenge me. They will say things in the class, because and I will just deviate the shot shortly. When you're a professor, there's something about human nature that like to challenge authority. Adam did that. He challenged God and ate the apple. So when I go to class and I talk, like yesterday it happened in my classroom, I will share with you. I'm teaching my children, my students how to diagnose. They don't want to learn, and so they keep on telling me, well, the diagnosis, okay, that 3 out of 5 or so were doing that. And so at the end of the class, I let them have their way. I didn't say this. At the end of the class, I said, you guys have to take a composition exam at the end of this class, right? And if you come to me and you don't diagnose properly, and you go to any other professor, you don't diagnose properly, because one of the hallmark of being a clinical psychologist is to know how to diagnose someone with ADHD or substance abuse, okay? And if you don't justify why you diagnose this person and just come to tell me, say, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you will fail. You will not get good marks. And so I just want you guys to know, you can talk all you want to in this class about, diagnosing and stuff. Just make sure you give me evidence. And evidence comes from reading. And I just wanted to add that to what you were just saying. So sorry to interrupt a little bit.
No, Dr. Richardson, that's a welcome interruption. And just to piggyback on what I was saying, I want to encourage you and your team. I know your students, as you said, they were a part of the discussion. But you guys can look to extending this to not just from Bond County, but to other counties as well, especially Montserrat and the rest of the other counties. They're equally important, so that at least it can become a series, to help us. If you need a player on the ground, you can count on me as well. I would definitely form part of that, because we need people to have a mindset that is okay. So that they can make sound decisions. Because if you don't know what wellness is in different aspects as it should be, you might not be well in thinking you well, and you might make wrong decisions. You might not think critically, and at the end of the day, people will take advantage of us, as we see happening in our country. We don't solve problems because we don't critically think. If you tell your community, people say, well, let's put money together and face the road, the first thing the person will tell you no, because one, they're not living there permanently. Two, they don't have a car. They'll say, I get car. So I'm happy to face the real, because me I get car. Forgetting to know
that if they get sick, but if they get sick, and that who they will come to knock for emergency.
And if your road is deplorable, bike riders wouldn't want to bring you in. You run the risk of walking and being dirty and all those things. You don't own a car though, but cars will bring you. You have friends. And for the betterment of the community, all these things. But people think, I get car, because we don't. We just listen to respond.
Yes.
We just listen to respond. Most of the time, we already have formed biases towards the situation. We assume already, and that is why propaganda in Liberia is easily spread, because anything we see, most of the time, we just assume it and take it to be true.
Yeah, but you know what, Tama, I would tell you, I was more impressed with this. The students, and they're all Americans. This is their first time even talking to someone outside of their community, outside of their culture. For many of them, I think I had one student who has an immigrant background, maybe 1 or 2, but they live here, their families live here. And before we did the presentation, a lot of people have warned me, "Oh, the children not understand you. That's why you're talking that language." And but the Liberian children, they understood us very well. Only one or two times they had to say, "We understand," or we could tell when they were squinting their eyes or their facial expression had changed that they didn't understand us, and we repeated ourselves, and it was beautiful. It was just, I mean, we even in the chat room, people were in, because we have a chat room where it's a diversity forum for the university chat room, and they are saying they want to do it again, and they were amazed. So we will look into it. We want to do more, and thank God for technology. Technology has just that. I sat right here today, and we zoomed out into the classroom setting of 20 students, and we're able to do this. So because of technology, we can do this. Okay, so I'll be glad to do. It's just a little time consuming, as you know. Like today, 11, 2 o'clock, I was on. Now I'm here again, and we'll be here for the rest of the day. So today, I just kind of said today my Liberia Friday.
All right. All right. So, folks, it's always good to have these conversations, starters for the show.
Mhm.
There are suggestions already to the time and day. If you want to do a wellness series, to speak to our mental health and all of those, there is a suggestion from Freeman that says Saturday morning, Liberian time, Saturday morning, you know,
Okay.
um, to have that ongoing for us. We need it. You can bring on other experts in different fields, to speak to us. But talking about technology, this month is Cyber Security Awareness Month in Liberia.
Okay.
Today I was at the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, the LTA. They will be having a conference on next week where they will have local and foreign facilitators, experts to come and speak to cybersecurity threats in our country, what we face, and how we can fight against cyber crimes. Many of us don't know, especially in Liberia, how vulnerable we are. The fact that people just send you links and they say, "Oh, Canada is sending people to go where free. Click on the one, you go there." And based on our desperation too, our need for better opportunities and all that. But it's good. So far today, I got informed that we don't have cybersecurity regulations and laws. But
Mhm.
thankfully, there is an act before the Senate, and the LTA is also looking to, after this conference, to start to put down regulations. Once the act is passed, then they too can come out as the regulatory body to come out with regulations. So what we're doing right now in Liberia, like everybody for their set in the
So people
cyberspace.
are taking 7,000 housing allowance, scratch card allowance, generator allowance. They ain't even made law to
But
protect them.
there isn't. That's why they're trying to now. It's not the LTA's responsibility to promulgate laws.
The commission.
Um, the the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication is the policy arm. The
Uh,
LTA is the regulator.
they ain't even
You know,
recommend.
yeah. So they can come out with regulations, but it's the Post and Telecommunications Ministry and the national legislature, yeah, that are responsible for the policy. But LTA is for regulation of the telecommunications sector.
Mm.
So it's a good thing that we're making strides to want to fight against cyber attacks as early as it is, even though we still have a lot of paper trail in our country. We're not fully digital, but it's good to start where you can bend the tree as easily as possible. And we have had a lot of cybersecurity implications in our country, from the smart AI to the sending of links,
Mm.
to people trying to take your information. I've been a victim of that. My mobile money account, somebody tried to send you to the account lock, and different other things. So awareness is going to be key. But what I want to share with our people today, I coined a term, and if LTA uses my term, they'll have to pay me. You
Mm.
know, I said, hold it tight.
Hold
Hold
it.
your hold your digital identity tight.
Yes.
Don't click on any link. Your identity, your account, all those things, hold them tight.
Correct.
Make sure you do your due diligence. Don't let anybody say, "Oh, I send you money, but you need to pull a code here before you get the money." Don't let anybody say, "Oh, and give me your password to your account." I know boyfriend and girlfriend will say, "Oh no," because they can do that thing. But it's serious to protect your identity, your cyber, your digital footprint, and all these
Correct.
things. You have to be careful because it's serious.
Mhm.
And if we don't put our regulations in place now, and we don't have laws like the Richardson, we
Mhm.
might just be a hub for a lot of cyber attacks. and
Yeah.
people can use that. But what I learned from a colleague at the bank is that
Mhm.
many of these banks don't have their servers being protected here in Liberia. Many of them have external, protection. They have people working as cyber security experts for them, but not in Liberia. So they host their servers out of the country. Yeah,
Mhm.
the domain and all those things. I don't know the general term. Yeah, they host it, out of the country. So, but for ordinary Liberians like us, and with no laws being on the books so far, they rely on existing laws. That will be in the same category to prosecute if somebody commits an act. So it's good that we're looking in that direction. Also, today, the fellow who murdered
Mhm.
his girlfriend and their child and their unborn baby as well. Today
Mhm.
he was forwarded to court and then sent to the Monrovia Central Prison on remand. Awaiting his trial. So I have a short excerpt from that. I
Mhm.
just want to play it, and
Play
then
it.
we'll talk. Yeah. So this is
Mhm.
the fellow when he was being murdered.
Hmm. People are angry.
So the people are angry. The video credit says Melvin Jackson.
Thank you,
He's
Melvin.
a seasoned judicial reporter. So we got that video from his page, and we want to give him the courtesy as well. So he was taken to court today. Charges read. He murder according to our law is unbillable. So he was taken to court,
Mhm.
and subsequently forwarded to prison to be on remand. Other things happening in the country, Dr. Richardson.
Diamond, did I hear that the girl is pregnant too?
Yes, that is what according to the
News.
charge sheet from the
Mm.
police investigation and everything.
So he killed the girl baby, the girl, and then she was pregnant with
Yeah,
child.
and then as another child.
Hey, go.
Yeah.
Hey, go. Somebody 9 months. Then he stay there now. He look for you. Yeah.
All right. So I want to go to the phone lines for Liberians to tell us what's on their minds quickly before we hit the 9 p.m. mark here in Liberia. 0777 1075 0555 101075. Those are the local numbers to call us and tell us what's on your mind. We're hearing the president will be in the country beginning of next week. He will be in the country, and a lot of speculations around from the grapevines, from sources all over, that there's going to be massive reshuffle, there's going to be massive decision taking, there's going to be suspensions and axing and the rest of these things. But today, yesterday, yeah, the commerce minister, I want to get the exact time, but I want to get the exact time. I don't want to give out information that is unsubstantiated. But all I can say is the commerce minister was at MICAT. Many have termed it as a last-ditch attempt to project himself in a positive light amidst all of the allegations of wrongdoing against the commerce minister. He was at the Ministry of Information, where he provided updates on gains made at the commerce ministry since he's been at the helm there. Others have said it's an attempt to say, look at my report card, even though you're accusing me of getting 2 or 3, but look, on the overall, I've been doing a good job. Look at what I have to show for it. But again, whether or not that is going to influence whatever decision, we don't know what the decision of the president will be when he returns. But there's been pressure from not just the media, but from civil society agencies and organizations as well, calling for the president to take immediate action, not just on the allegations against the commerce minister, but other investigative reports that were instituted by this government, and hence there haven't been decision taking. Key amongst those to include the LDEA saga, and now we're hearing of reported fist fights at the Public Works Ministry. So It reminds me of some years back when the former president said, of course, I should go on. I think Brodsky or so.
She said what she said, Tama?
I remember years back, former president, we are belated birthday to you, Chief. So he said, of course, I should go on Brodsky. Of course, now
Yeah, I remember that. You want fun and Clement, Tama? He said we'll stop him.
Yeah, I go choke with you, yeah, so all it, you got talking, you got fighting. Yeah. So just settle the matter one time.
We'll go back to the question, what is wellness?
All right, so Abraham says it was on, he said it was
Oh,
on Kiri.
thank you,
Yeah.
right?
Go choke with you. If you feel that you saw, can I boss it, the winner, the winner get bragging rights.
Kind of true, bros.
All right, let me go to the phone lines at the registers.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. I'm gonna go say hello to Mr. Ibrahim. He's home now. I'll be right back.
All right. So Doc will be back. 077771075. 0101075. Tell us what's on your mind. Boomberger, what's up, Chief?
Demo, what's up?
Yo.
Yeah, man, you gotta be there, Demo.
Yeah.
The Liberian people can't wait. You gotta be there. You can go anywhere.
Yeah.
We have hold it but down in spirit and in truth. What's going on? Dwalo been coming on late this few days.
And then Dwalo can answer that question. As you said, probably in negotiating coming to Liberia, so you must do different
He's trying to be perfect. He's trying to be nice. I got something on him though.
Oh, you got something on Dwalo?
You got a CC camera or recording, right? When he went there that day and we were in the car, right?
I plead the fifth.
I ain't delete that though, because everything that happened over there, I can see it from this end. I hope you guys didn't delete it. And, the ring camera that who saw it in the car. I think he said it was his niece, right?
I thought you can answer one question now.
But you scared to answer?
But I can't remember what he said. What he said
in the car. That his niece, I know that little patient, that his niece.
What did he
Yeah, man. They can give me a hard time. You leave the thing, yo, go like bro, free day like me. Anytime I go like bro, my wife can't stop me. I damn, let me go tell my wife say I went like bro, and she will put slide in my ear.
Yeah,
What's up, man?
I got a new job today, man. I don't know. I just got an offer letter.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know you were unemployed.
You taking it?
No, I work with that. I gotta be unemployed. You gotta be working. You gotta be unemployed for you.
Oh, you got a new assignment? A new position?
Yeah.
Okay, congrats.
Yeah.
That more money, by the way. That more money, though. That's 7 figure, right? 7 or 8? 7 or 8?
So, what do you mean 7 or 8? Which one?
7 or 8 figures. Where are we? Ballpark. Should I add another 0? People. Congrats, Dwalo. Congrats. I heard the same thing about Fadiga.
He has a lot of headache. I think 8,000 men, and it's going to be a tough operation. We see.
Yeah, try. I mean, this is America. If you don't like it, you flip.
Oh, but the thing I won't be able to go to Liberia and be lying, say I'm working. You know what I mean?
That's why you lie, you're on your own. That's why you can go this time around. You lie until they people say you're in America. They saw you on Spoon Talk. They said, man, they background different.
The two people.
I want to say,
yeah.
Glenny, how you doing, Glenny?
Hello, everybody. I'm good.
Thank you, Glenny.
Don't mind Stanton.
How's the Friday at your end? How's the Friday?
My Friday is great. Like I said, I just got an offer. So my Friday.
Yeah, besides the offer, is it raining? Is it just cool?
It's beautiful out here today, man. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Yeah. I'll tell you what, see weather. I mean, I
think so too. Glenny, Glenny, are you in Maryland or Virginia? Where are you?
My weather, I don't know. I don't know the weather. I didn't look outside. I actually just woke up.
Huh? You enjoy
your shower to come on the show.
Wait. Benny, see you say yesterday, guy?
Which guy is that? Is there a guy that you know?
For you to Jeff Wicker tell her this?
What's wrong with that? What I gotta do? I got young
Are
adult
you
children.
off from work? Are you off from work today?
I called her because I wasn't feeling too well this morning. So I just woke up. Let me get you all the details. You like news, right?
Wait. Let's take it step by step.
Hello, yeah.
No, you say hello to Baby T. Let's take it step by step. So you called off from work.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I'm not feeling too well. You know, I said it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You called off from work, and you've been sleeping all day.
All day. I just woke up.
But you were in our chat room, though.
Yeah, but I lay down my bed, I phone. And I phone. And I phone you touching. You get a show face. And I just tapping your fingers.
So no, I'm talking about the finger part. Let's talk on the talking part. So my thing is that you just woke up.
I just woke up.
Okay. Let me leave that one.
I just woke up. 3:30.
But why would you wake up 3:30?
Because I had to take shower and get ready to come sit down here. I shouldn't take shower. You got in my neck, huh?
No, but you just woke up. You just woke up. And it's concerning.
For what thing? That's normal for me. Even
So
on
what
Saturday.
So what Oma?
She's in her room.
Okay. So only you and Oma in the house?
No, my children here.
Okay. So you don't have to cook for nobody?
No, everybody cook for themselves. Anything they cook, we eat.
Go for all.
That's it. What I swear, we always eat it.
Somebody say, yeah, this is the Spoon family, my people. What would say everything plus more. We happy to come here every evening. Just listen to do stress-free stuff. Seriously. After a long day, they gave Dwalu a new job. The new job that they gave Dwalu is $275,000 a year. $275,000.
He already got his salary.
After 6 months, based on Dwalu performance, this will go to probably between $350 to $400. Dwalu will be happy for you.
We're happy for you.
We're happy for you.
Let me tell you why I go all greedy. Well, I tried to put my mom greedy yesterday. She said I'm going to eat breadfruit. I said, when she ready? Now people that together so now you're hungry.
And they can do the breadfruit fufu, right?
Yeah, the dumbo. Yeah.
Oh, dumbo.
Yeah, you gotta eat it with butter the best way, you know.
But what the one they can cut small and you can just either they eat in cassava and they can do that too.
They fry the breadfruit.
You can boil it.
Oh, fry too.
You know, real oil. They got different type of breadfruit though, but you gotta know which one now. Because
they're not good though.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, but you can know after a while. You just know which is which. I mean, that's smoking people ain't beginner. They come up with all they got one beverage drink there, yeah. The juniors is.
How many breadfruit trees you had in your father or your mother had in the yard, Danny? How many?
It could be in the yard.
One in the backyard.
Yeah. I think almost everybody on the Oscar.
Let me ask you a question though. Am I making a mistake? The breadfruit leaf, that medicine, right?
I don't know.
Or that's it, or that the sour leaf.
I think that is so I'm not sure.
One of those leaves, they are big, is they say for blood pressure. We used to go get it for our grandma and boil it and then drink it. Okay. I think somebody will help me. And we used to go get it from Cassidy Boulevard way there. But again, folks, welcome to the Spoon Talk. This is where you come. We have family discussion. We laugh, we joke. But we discuss the seriousness of our.
The person that will do for you for the new job, they got to eat some money.
$275,000.
Yeah. I already trying to de-stress.
And the salary they give you week.
Wait. Where will the salary be you with?
You were just asking the man how many zero. I'm gonna add another zero. But within 2 minutes, you already know that 275,000.
But you just said that cell phone we get in our hand. The man just sent me the text.
I gave it to you, Papa. I gave it to you.
Not even move. No
way. That sent me the text.
Everyone can see it.
I said to go get a job, and then he get listen. God know how to remove certain people from school job. No, seriously. God know how to remove certain people from Spoon Talk. The only job they gave us is that he will leave work at 6:30. By this time we're done. Seriously, for that is that 6:30 acid will leave work. Before he got on the show, we're doing our closing.
All right.
Maybe they
All of them bad.
maybe CDC might send a replacement.
Yeah.
Who?
Chavez
They
Goji.
might send a replacement.
Nah, I don't.
Or
Chelsea
Isaac might
Koji-
just be doing a Fatima on the show. Like, oh, you might just do a Fatima.
That's why you have Fatima, because it doesn't help Fatima either.
They do
So
job.
Fatima got her new job. She
Yeah.
can't come on the show.
Oh, she got
Like,
new job too?
Yeah, Fatima is a director for one of the facility.
But
No, she said it on the show. She
Oh,
said
I
it on the
missed, I
show.
must have missed it.
Yeah, Fatima. There's something Fatima doing. I gotta say though, I don't know whether this is a smart thing. You know, she worked with the federal government, right? You know, she worked under the. Look at that, Richardson. Look at me. She doesn't want me to say. Man, I would say, man, I care. I would say, and today that Friday. Yeah, man. Somebody ran a story. Yeah, they're giving me then why you asking me? If you don't want me to say, you don't ask
Nobody
me.
asked you.
You just ask me. Everything that we gotta say. So, ladies and gentlemen, because of you, let me talk about Fatima small. Dwadu, Fatima worked with the federal government, right?
Okay.
She took 6 months leave
Yeah.
of absence. So that is to say she already have her job.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got this new job. That Richardson said she leaving.
I really recuse herself for the whole this kind of thing.
That reason I recuse myself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be here. But that, you guys don't want me to say it. What I say though.
Yeah, I know that story. I hear it.
No, let me say it for the sake of our
Maybe just
audience.
that thing for you to say.
I say I know the story. I want to hear it. I know it.
You
I
sure
don't
you
want to follow
have
that now.
You sure you don't want to say it?
I don't know the story.
Tolu, let's say this though, right?
Mm-hmm.
She took 6 months leave of absence.
Mm-hmm.
The job she got is between 110 to 120,000.
Okay.
If you add benefit, everything, it take her to 143,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Every year. No, I have the letter.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me you're not giving that letter.
I can show Fatima letter. I have the letter. Seriously. So what happened is that, but Mike, I think it's legal though.
So
Because if Fatima want to work in Liberia, we gotta examine her now. Because she cannot carry this behavior in Liberia. She took 6 months leave of absence, and she went into the new job. Is it legal, Dwal?
Yeah, perfectly legal.
It's legal, right?
Yeah, it's your time.
But in 6 months, she getting paid.
Yeah, that's fine.
And she using the time to test this new job.
Thank you. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
But here is the issue. I got you right there. You know the issue?
Hey, you.
Because it's a federal job, where Fatima want to work, the same federal or same department went to that same place to do her in-service, and Fatima ran away.
Yeah, your boy, Fatima want to see you. You know why he's a being like you. Let me tell you one secret. Why he's a being like you, when people say, oh, Dwalo look black on the TV, it was intentional because it's one of people because every time a director call me, Dwalo, you sound distant. I say, listen, man, for us, sometimes you get
All that labyrinth thing, you gotta stop. You gotta stop that labyrinth thing. The people, and when the people call, you know who they call to speak to? The social service director at Fatima. Because they were coming there to do in-service. And Glennie, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
They needed to speak to the social service director. And Fatima put the how you call it, the DON on the phone.
Yeah.
How
So
you
then she
know all
was-
this?
Why not Fatima can explain her own story to me? That Fatima can explain her own story to me.
Huh?
So they allow Fatima to take some time off while the in-services was going on. And how she escaped that. So I told her, I said, listen, you got to make a decision here, sister. Fatima is my sister. You got to make a decision. Yeah. And, everybody went through this thing. The hustle is real, folks. That's why you see somebody get a $200, a $300. Don't say, oh, that only $100 you send me, that only $200. No, the hustle is real, seriously. But I think we should consider that double dipping. I think Fatima is double dipping.
Yeah, Fatima in the queue there. Why are you talking? Eh?
No, she's not yet. Oh, let me stop here. Fatima get my stuff before she sees it. Let me stop. Let me leave Fatima alone. But folks, thank you. Please share our show. We got a lot of stuff. Do you know that the LDCC, the document in the chat room, it was said on Front Page Africa, open a massive investigation on the 50 million off budget expenses. Do you know that? We got so many stories coming your way. Do you know that something at the National Bureau of Concession, people have written LDCC again, filing an official complaint to open an investigation on a couple of the directors that are there. We'll be sharing the story with you. The national issue in the country, all right, something is springing out of Commerce Ministry concerning cement and steel rod, given the fact that the president sent how you call this thing, executive order, you know, but the executive order have been abused. So we have to discuss that. We got so many bread and butter issues coming your way. We want to say welcome to Spoon Talk. This is where you come to get information. After our show yesterday on the education story, my God, a lot of folks reached out to us.
Yeah.
It is important for us to discuss the issue in Liberia.
Yeah.
It is bad. The education story is big. Wherever you find yourself, in any county for that matter, any district, just look around. Do you know, since we got 4 more minutes left, Dr. Richardson, welcome. Do you know that it is important to say this? Everybody charging whichever fees, there is no restriction. You can charge $200 for third grade. Dwalu can charge $600 for third grade. Damo can charge $700 for third. Nobody cares. Do you know that? There is no system. Or whether we have a system and people abusing it, that's the question.
Yeah.
So we have to really discuss this education something. I would have to bring the representative. I think his name is Sam Steve. What's his name? Steve Kwai. Yeah, representative from River says, you know, he watched the show yesterday and he was taken back. And I told him I was going to bring it on the show. We can also announce that on Sunday, one-on-one with the CEO, we'll be having a CSA boss. What's his name? Josiah Jakar.
Yeah.
He will be our guest on one-on-one with the CEO on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, please, please, please share the show. We will come to you, we'll listen to you, and let's have fun tonight. But let's discuss the issue concerning Liberia. Today is Friday, the 4th. Happy birthday to my second oldest sister, Annie Too. We wish her happy birthday, my Annie. They call her the General. We wish you happy birthday, whatever you are, my Annie. Dama know what I'm talking about. She's the General. We wish my Annie happy birthday. Again, I want to say,
Annie. Yeah, we wish you all the best.
All the best. We really want to say it again. If you are celebrating your birthday, happy birthday to you. Your wedding anniversary, we say happy anniversary to you. I seen this thing flying around on our friend Leo. He married Woki. What's her name? Woki Toki. What's her name, Dama?
Dolo.
Woki Dolo. We say congrats to you, Leo, for taking on Woki Dolo. Again, those of you that are out there that's trying to do your best, happy Friday to you. We're going to relax, we're going to have fun, but we're going to discuss the serious issue in our country. Yes, sir.
I even talk about Woki Dolo getting married, and you don't talk about the G's between Woki Dolo and Benita Yuri.
No, I have limitation.
What a G!
I have. Listen. Tuadu. Again. Let me just mind my business, okay? Okay. I'll add that one. I know. Listen, I have limitation though. I can talk about certain people. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave the Uris alone.
Yeah.
I'm not pull it like that. Yeah. What's you, Dr. Richardson? Welcome to the show. Let's welcome Kona, Guitar, Quantum Fox, Winston, Philip Bala, Ayu White, Eric Dam, Fala Johnson, Aloysius Mali, Aquila James, Amos Horaci. I want to welcome every one of you. Chucky Charlie. Listen, guys, please share our show. Invite somebody, tell them to join us. We have Uncle Sam Jackson coming on. We have Sis Glenny, JJ. Diamond is producing from the studio. We have Mr. Duado and the people. Dr. Francine Chineway, Spectre, Richardson, and I'm here. We're going to bring in Fadiga. He's coming on as well. Again, one thing I want to say to all of you before I give it away to Dr. Richardson and the rest of the team, we are moving forward. It's time to find a solution. It's time for us to hold people accountable. It's time for us to find a way in which our Liberian people can benefit. Whatever the situation may be, we are moving forward. The situation at the airport, we will get it fixed. Yeah. The situation with commerce, it will be resolved. The situation, we are hearing information that people were fighting today at the Public Work Ministry or yesterday, whatever the situation would be. The President Joseph Yuma Bwaga have assured most of us that these things, we will jump over them and we will find a solution. So once again, welcome to the Spoon Talk. Dr. Richardson.
So thank you, guys. It's good to see everyone today. I'm sorry that I wasn't here yesterday, but that was my working day. I also want to welcome those who are watching or listening to the show. Today is concerning to me, especially when I briefly listened to your show yesterday on education. Just to imagine that some of the schools in our country cannot provide adequate seating arrangements for our children. We forget to know the interrelationship between how a students sit, how conducive a room is to learning. If I have to be distracted because I have to fix my dress a certain way, or I got to sit on the floor in order to learn, I'm not learning. I'm distracted. Okay. If I'm in a Zing Ram building, the heat, there's no window, I can't learn. If I'm hungry, my stomach growling, I'm distracted, I can't learn. The way how we learn is recollection. There's things in our brain that work together in a good concert. And if they're not working and we are not in a proper development space, things will not happen. I see that, nothing. I'm happy for the education minister. I see that one of the first things she did was to to visit the different counties. Since she did, we didn't hear. What was her findings? What is she going to do? Did she come up with any resolution? It's bad. It's really bad. So I hope that we continue to speak up for the education of our children. I had an opportunity to interact with young children in Liberia this morning this noon. Our children are very smart. I just want to know. I mean, they had really great questions. They were interacting with students here from the United States, and both sides of the aisles were very impressed with each other. So to tell you that our students are up to par, they just need to be given the conducive environment so that they can thrive. And that's all we're asking for people in Liberia in leadership positions to do. So thank you, guys, and I look forward to the conversation today.
Okay, so go ahead, Mr. Duarte, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, the audience, man, thank you for coming always. This is tremendous, and I want to make a quick correction, my brother Eric Down. When we talk here, sometimes we joke with one another. What you think Fatima is doing, but that's not corruption. I'm going to do the same thing. After you go through a competitive hiring process, for instance, my process began with 107 people to be the last person standing after 5 separate interviews. You want to weigh that job before you go. You can't just leave your other job. If you can take a leave of absence from your old job to test the water at a new job, there's nothing corrupt about that. But I want to say this, we've spoken a lot here where we who supported the UP administration, sometimes we beat up the UP organization. But I want to stress this position today in my opening. The UP was left a massive hole by the previous administration. Everything in the country was destroyed. These guys were they didn't understand anything about governance. All they care about was stealing and stealing and stealing. They emptied all the vaults in the country. They emptied all the banks in the country. They destroyed the country extensively. Honorable Boubacar has to address those holes. He's the kind of person, if you notice, he doesn't lay blame as was done by the previous administration, where they say, oh, that was Ellen did it. I mean, like Ellen did it. You've never heard him once say this is for the we administration, because he's trying to find solution. Yes, it is true. These problems have to be addressed, but we must also take into context where he inherited, given that these guys literally just chocolate the entire country. Honorable Boubacar must work, true, but take the whole thing into context. I want us to always remember that. Thank you so much. Lenny.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be back here. I want to start also from the airport situation, because that is the gateway to our country. We hope that issue can be resolved. We hope that a maintenance plan can be put in place, whether during rainy or dry season, that they're checking to make sure that things are okay, because we have people going to the country every day. One of the trending stories today is the Samuel Tuer bond. We read from Liberia TV network that the homes that they use for the $8 million, they're not his homes. And they said the story is coming up. So that's something that I've been looking at, but it's good to be here.
So you got to pass it on to Uncle Sam now, Glendy.
Uncle Sam.
Pass it on, yeah.
Uncle Sam.
Instead of Uncle Sam.
But thank you.
What thing will make me scared of him? Scared of him for what thing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Uncle Sam.
Only a part save you from me. Yeah, only a part. But anyway, let's just go.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, what I mean?
Yeah, JD Bayoga Jr. I feel like he's my pa, so he's my sister. So you know we have sibling rivalry. Look, I want to talk to Liberian people today about health. This is a very, very important thing for me. Last week, my blood pressure, which is normally very, very low, between 120 to like 120, 130, and the bottom, it hardly goes above 80. It went to 158 over 95. And I panicked, right? And the reason why I'm talking to you guys about health, because politics is extremely important, the country is very important, but if you don't take care of yourself, you can't help the country, you know? And for the Liberian people out there, don't be afraid of doctor. It's better for you to know it, and then you can take care of it, okay? So I went to the doctor, and he basically put me on something called, I think, Remipan or something, which is like free blood pressure. And then he asked me a lot of lifestyle questions, what I was eating and stuff. And then he found out that I ate a lot of sodium, okay, like the chicken soup, the very, very bad stuff, okay? So the last 3 days, and I also got melatonin to rest, because when you have all these so he went on a natural sleep supplement to take. And I was sleeping, I've been sleeping in the last 3 days, 10 to 12 hours a day. I took my blood pressure this morning, 136 over 71. So I'm just basically urging all Liberians, take care of your health. When I was in my 40s, 30 years ago, excuse my language, I had frequent urination, right? And my daughter was in med school at that time. She written a paper on prostate cancer. That's how she sent me the paper, and I started to do the digital rectal, the PSA. And when I did the PSA consistently, so when I found out that my PSA went to 7, I had to do a biopsy, and that's how I found out that I had early cancer. And that's how I was able to survive to be 71. So I'm just basically urging all my Liberian brothers and sisters out there, please, for God's sake. Politics is great. We all have our political leaders, but if you don't take care of your health, and the most important thing is God, because I know people who are like health nuts and they die early. So God first, but God gives you the opportunity. Please check yourself on a regular basis, and let's have a happy and healthy nation. That's what I wanted to say. So I want to thank God. Thank you. I may have a few more days here, a few more years here, but at least I crossed the thing to be like what 3 scores and 11 now. So just wanted to appeal to you all to take care of your health. I think that's very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Uncle Sam. We're happy to have you, man. Seriously. Like I always say, you're a great great asset to the country and to this network. We say again, God going to see you through. And yes, you always check yourself. We always see all the plenty of pictures. But don't you think the different content they're adding to it too? You're going to do a cut down?
Well, I used to be a serial womanizer in my past. And I would be the first to admit that I've not been a good husband. I'll be very frank with you. I've not been very good at marriage. But for the last 5 years, I've been fully committed and I've been working at it. You know, sometimes you get better. You know, some people never get better, but I've gotten better and it appears to be working. So, you know, but the most important thing in life, as you know, is family. Family is the most important thing. Family. Because when the rubber hits the road, is the family that is going to be there. When I was dying from cancer, it was my family that surrounded me and built this network. And my daughter, being a medical professional, she researched a lot of good things about this, but not good things, a lot of treatment options for my cancer. So, you know, family.
Is this true that monogamy lowers your chances of cancer and promiscuity increases it? Is there a correlation there?
I haven't seen any research on that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've seen a lot of pop research, but nothing that can withstand any kind of rigorous reseach on the connection between sex.
I think Augustin, I believe it though.
Hey,
well, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but there is no rigorous research that puts any correlation between sex and prostate cancer. The excessive sex.
You gotta get that constant flow.
Yeah, but bear in mind, most cancer is hereditary. Because my father,
yeah, it's true. But let's leave that gene. Let's leave the genes and let's go back to our question.
My biological father died from prostate cancer. Okay, and I got prostate cancer.
Oh yeah.
And there's a friend of mine who just had a radical, what they call a prostatectomy, right? And his father died at the age of 58 of prostate cancer.
So we said there is a correlation, scientific correlation actually.
Really?
So, I haven't seen that scientific correlation.
Uncle Sam, it also makes you to live longer, like we can see. It also makes you to live longer, like we can see in your case. He's 71 years old, so you know it keep you going too. It keep you healthy. It keep you going. And
well, I can tell you one thing: if you talk about maybe your heart rate, that's a whole different thing because
Uncle said everything is connected one way or the other. Forget about that heart rate something. So, but we're good to see that you'll be around. We'll look at you as an example. You know, you're going.
Yo, top of the Uncle Samko.
No, we got another old man coming on. Let's ask him. Both of them, ask him why and that. But both that Christian, he doesn't like to get in this kind of conversation. So, can you post your question to Dr. Bopla and ask him?
Yeah, Dr. Bopla, he got that and this. So all that is saying.
No, wait a minute. What's your definition of old man? What's your definition of old man?
Thank you.
Okay.
No, answer the question.
I'll answer you.
His definition.
My definition of old man.
Just try to answer, man. What's your definition of old man?
I mean, just you can see the computer.
Why you can't talk?
You can see the computer.
No, but no, seriously, it's a. I'm not kidding. That I'm saying there's a correlation. Let me post the question.
It is.
Tell me the evidence to that correlation.
But I'm about to tell you now. I can send it to you. So monogamy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're monogamous for a very prolonged period, your chances of getting cancer is lower compared to if you're promiscuous. There's a correlation there. So
lower. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying now. Lower. It is lower. It doesn't mean it's substantial, but there's a correlation. But scientists have done this, yes.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Versus polygamy.
Yeah. Well, polygamy is different.
But okay, so then I buy that case. I buy that.
So Duaru.
I will get more.
Duaru, stop calling people name here, my man. Stop calling people name. Folks, let's go back to the show. Let's leave this to our guy. He's creating a problem. Let's go back to the show. Dr. Bopler, welcome. Asifa, welcome.
What a man time about.
Yeah, this guy.
What a man time or small.
I said, what's that? Labiro First. Somebody had this Labiro First something too. Is that an organization, Isaac? Okay, there you go. These are some of the old symptoms we are talking about. The old people's symptoms. They forget to unmute themselves. They slow to come on. Let's just go back to the show, man. Yeah. Every day on the show, we say the same thing. These guys, they cannot unmute themselves. They forget to know which computer they are using. These are the old people.
I got neck problems, so to reach it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, but after now, the man can't even unmute and say he's just laughing at us. We're talking to him, though. We're talking to him. He cannot unmute.
Hold on 1 second.
You know, you have to understand.
No, man, ain't you making noise? Some that beautiful Jew talking to me who won't kill my neck, then you trying to embarrass the Jew?
They will break you.
I'm just joking. You are married man.
Break your leg. You're about to break your neck. Also, watch. Go ahead again. Go behind them. I'm Jabba. I'm Son Jabba. Welcome to the show, man.
That unscientific thing, Dwalu talking, got any relationship, any correlation between monogamy and prostate cancer?
I mean, you're not a doctor, so I think I would believe Dwalu, who just got a new job, $275,000 he'd be making every year. Imagine, Dwalu would be making $225 an hour. So you can do the math. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spoon Talk. We are blessed to be here, as always. How many old people, with the exception of the women, how many old men we have?
When you allow people, you know how to twist it lie.
Yeah.
Because all the women
there, asking for definition. You can't get definition.
They are beautiful. I mean, you are in a different time zone, so we'll consider your interruption. You got 10-second delay time zone. We want to say to all of you, welcome to the Spoon Talk again. Our women on the show, they are young, they are beautiful, and again, we respect them. But for the men, I got problem with Asifa, Dr. Bopler, and Uncle Sam. They always keep us back with that few seconds delay. You know, we gotta wait for them. It's like you gotta wait for your, so it's okay. We'll manage with them. Till we can get some strong young men on the show, then we'll get rid of them. Then we'll put them aside.
It's good. The delay is good. Because if you have time, you can. When you think more, you talk better. That's all that's all crap. So that delay is good. I take it out.
No, I mean it's good because you're Reverend, and we expect you to talk, like a Reverend. Your congregation looking at you. So some of us will just read in the church and go to church. So we'll be careful. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to say thank you very much. Let's start the show, guys. It's always good we come here. We just lay back and have fun because this is all what we have to entertain you guys. Dr. Richardson, Asifa October, Dr. Bopler, Sister Glendy, Mr. Dwalu, and Uncle Sam will be coming back. We want to say, folks, welcome to the show. If you're just joining us, please share. Our first conversation today, guys, I want us to go back a little bit. I think I shared the document in the chat room, and it's powerful. Seriously. The investigation on the $15 million off budget. A press statement was put out, and they are saying that they're going to investigate to curtail corruption. Dr. Richardson, let's talk about this investigation. Do you think is this a flash, or this actually going to have a serious impact on our country? What is happening now?
We have had so many investigations that I'm a bit cynical when it comes to, disappointed when it comes to, if there are going to be consequences for the people who abused the law or who were caught violating the laws of Liberia. So my hopes are not high. I can tell you I'm not going to keep my hopes high up there until we see these people are actually facing some consequences for their behavior. But again, I'm happy that this investigation is going on, but we have too many investigations going on in the country. We got an LDA investigation. We got investigation relating to the legislature. I think the investigating the function of the legislature. Then we got this other investigation going of this off-limit spending. Yes, when I think about the $2 million unexplained, what in the world is that? Unexplained use of Liberian people money? That is fraud. That is abuse of power. That is not taking people into consideration. These are people hard-earned tax money or either donators' money. So my hopes are not high for the results of the investigation. So there you have it.
Thank you very much. I just put it in the chat room. Mr. Duarte, you want to come in because the chairperson, Councillor Alexander Zoe, and the entire team put out this statement, which is very important. Talk to us, Mr. Duarte.
Stanton, I'm going to go along with Dr. Francine. Personally, I'm just sick and tired of investigations and statements. There's no reason why the government should be putting out a statement for something that is counter to the law. The laws have already been written years ago, or even yesterday, or 100 years ago, the laws are on the book. The law is very simple. If Dr. Francine takes money that doesn't belong to her, the law has a remedy. Follow the remedy, stop these investigations, and let people see that the government is serious about the due process of law. Put handcuffs on people. If you give Dwalu $2 million to run an agency and I cannot account for the $2 million, you have to arrest me and let me account for the money. This is not a talking matter or investigation matter sometimes. Everything should be documented. There should be a receipt that follows everything a minister or director does within his agency. Sometimes we just complicate the process, and we know these delay tactics are just meant to prolong the process and let people forget about it. And frankly, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, but if that be the case, Duarte, we have a law, though. We are a country of constitution.
Correct.
We are law abiding. So if the LDCC, which is that entity, the integrity of the LDCC, to open an investigation, are you saying to the folks listen to us, do away with that and just go grab people and put them in jail?
Thank you very much. And I love the question. That's why we are here. Thank you so much for that question. If Stanton Weatherspoon becomes a Minister of Commerce, the Minister of Commerce have a regulation. You saw an oath. And part of swearing that oath is lawful, that you will protect the asset of the government, and the money coming will be accounted for. All of that within the confines of the document that you sign. So if you went to your job and you were working as an analyst and something gets missing, they hold you responsible until they can go through the court process. So that investigation is done, but initially, if that money cannot be accounted for, they handcuff you. Look, Stanton, our society is a backward society. If we continue this investigation, we know what happens. The investigation is already done. Where's the $10 million that we gave you? This is a simple investigation. Then you provide the documentation to substantiate. If you cannot, you should be locked up until you go through the court process. We have to send a message.
Okay, Glenn, same conversation. Do you agree with Duarte, Joe?
So I agree with him, but I would I hope it's not late, but I think this sets in motion some accountability, and it sets in motion that people should know that the different things that they're getting involved in, it should be legal dealings, and that they should do things correctly. So I think it is good for them to audit it, but I hope that it continues. I hope that this will not just be the first one and then they stop and don't audit anymore. But whatever the findings are, that there will be something done from those findings. So I welcome the fact that they're doing that.
Let me bring it Dr. Bobler. Dr. Bobler, maybe I'm again confused with Duarte's answer, right? We know that we are a country of law. If LDCC say, listen, we carry on an investigation today, we want to establish something, and then make our recommendation, though they have the prosecutorial power, but further down the line, it's not just well, this man is guilty on the spot. I mean, anybody in there guilty, but this investigation is a unique one, Dr. Bobler.
Well, first of all, constant investigation have the propensity to make people develop negative perception the government and the situation in the country. But I want to caution all of us, we're better off investigating than not. Okay, because if you're going to stop investigating when you sense there's a problem, then you create a bigger problem. So investigation is okay. I think where we would like to see more action is investigation, conclusion, and subsequent action. You know, investigation can't just investigation, then another investigation, then another investigation. Investigate, be as swift as possible, bring it to a conclusion, and then take subsequent action. Because that is where justice is established and the deterrence, okay, the element of deterrence is found. So that's where I keep looking. So whether it's LSCC or any other agency, and by the way, LSCC is not the only place that can investigate corruption. Every agency, when you find out there's something going wrong, you ought to expose it and you have an opportunity to investigate. Remember, we have something called the Ministry of Justice. So yeah, wait for LSCC and overwhelm them. You find something wrong, you feel something's out of proportion or outside of the confines of the law, you can act. And all agencies need to be proactive now. So we don't go down this road where people just start to conclude that this is just a government of corruption and investigation, corruption and investigation.
Okay, Sam, you want to come in before I say bye?
Yes. So look, here is the thing that a serious country does. When something has the perception of something, the government shouldn't take more than 7-10 days maximum. 7-10 days maximum. Like in the LDEA, it was clear that there was a fracas and there were people drawing weapons. That was clear. That's not a 5-month investigation. The other thing that we do in Liberia is to shift things to committee when we don't want to be decisive. And governments do that very well when they want to sweep things under the carpet. Anytime you don't want to make a decision, you refer it to a committee. That's why the president has the authority and people serve at the will and pleasure of the president. Now, in the civil service, there are human resource principles that you get a warning letter, then you do this, you do that. But for presidential appointees, when there's even something, a perception that would undermine the image of the government, either the person affected resigns to shield the president, or the president takes swift action to demonstrate that he has a strength. But everything that drags on over the last 9 months, cumulatively, then it begins to portray the presidency as weak and ineffectual. And then people start to think that this government is not serious about fighting corruption. And right now, if you were to conduct a poll among Liberians, the first thing they would say, the president is slow. And that's a euphemism for him lacking the decisive authority to make decisions. And as the longer it takes, it would undermine the authority of the presidency and make it look like another run-of-the-mill presidency and not a rescue team.
Thank you, Augustin. Let me bring in Albert too. But Albert, talk to us the same question, the LCC investigation on the off-budget 50 million, sir.
For me, the off-budget is clear. According to the Public Financial Management Law, if the legislature does not know about that expenditure, it's illegal in my mind, except somebody can prove something otherwise. And then by law, those people should be handled. But the issue where Dwalo was speaking, I don't think just from an audit, just because read the audit, look at the person actually stole the money, you just go and arrest somebody. the legal authorities or the regulatory authorities must have enough evidence to believe that person, either misused the money, stole the money, or did something with it. Then they can probably arrest them, imprison them, and let them be able to get bail. But I don't think just from just audit findings, you just go and incarcerate somebody. So we should be careful. Maybe I'm mistaking what Eduardo said because he's waving him Mutombo finger. Rest in peace, Mutombo. But we have to be careful, and I support Sam in terms of the acceleration of some of these investigations. They should act on them, and some of the things that are caught and dry, especially in the case of insubordination or fighting on the job, or using arms or threatening or whatever kind of gangsterism act in government is not acceptable. That is an administrative decision that the president can make very easily. On the corruption side, let Minister of Justice be very proactive, let the LACC be very proactive and bring some of these things to fruition so we don't have too many things on the docket. But, we're not in control. We don't know some of the pressures that people are facing, so we can only suggest what they can do. We can't force it.
So thank you. Let me go back to Eduardo. Now you heard everybody. Eduardo, what say you?
Yeah. No, I said got a point, but I want to be very clear what I said. I'll give you a real case scenario. The U.S. Ambassador Michael McCarthy drove across the country. Trokong Bayou is responsible for the health clinic in Riverside County. These are real. I'm using a surname. I'm using a different name, but this is a real story. A clinic in Sesto was allocated around $56,000 to take drugs to that clinic. The document proved the money was given to Trokong Bayou. The clinic had no drugs. The clinic does not exist. Trokong Bayou cannot account for anything. It's a very simple thing. Trokong Bayou must be handcuffed, taken to the South Beach. He get made bail, and then you go face the judge. This doesn't call for 10,000 years of investigation. That is the exact point I'm trying to make. I'm not talking about a typical audit that means something is missing. Obviously not. But if we've determined after the audit, after the investigation, that $2 million is missing, he has to be handcuffed and account for this.
So let me say this. Let me read what it said, and we'll go to the off-budget. Folks, again, share the show. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful Friday. This is from the official statement on alleged off-budget spending by the government. It came out on the 30th. Today is the 4th. And this is in our chat room. It was on Front Page Africa. 1, we take these allegations seriously, as they touch on matters that are core to our institutional objectives. Off-budget expenditures, if confirmed, can undermine public trust in governance, weaken fiscal discipline, and pose risks to the country's financial integrity, which everybody believes is true. We wish to assure the public that the LDCC has commenced a preliminary review of the allegations. This will be followed by a comprehensive investigation to determine the accuracy of the claim, establish accountability, and ensure that proper legal procedures are followed. 3, we are committed to conducting this investigation with utmost transparency and independence. Throughout the process, we will engage with relevant stakeholders, including the Ministry of Finance and other oversight institutions, to ensure a thorough and fair inquiry. 4, as an institution charged with safeguarding public resources, we assure the public that we will leave no stone unturned in this investigation. If evidence of wrongdoing is found, we will take the necessary legal actions, including recommending sanction, prosecution, and other corrective measures. 5, we urge the public, media, and all stakeholders to allow the investigation to proceed without undue speculation or assumptions. Let us collectively uphold the principles of the due process, ensuring that all findings are based on verifiable facts and evidence. 6, the LDCC remains steadfast in its mission to combat corruption in all forms. Any allegations of financial mismanagement will be met with the full force of the law as part of our broader effort to promote accountability and safeguard public funds. Further updates will be provided as the investigation progresses. Councillor Alexandra Zoe, Executive Chairperson. Dr. Richardson, this is the first statement. What say you? 30 seconds while we conclude on this.
Yeah. So the press statement shows that that wing of government, the LSCC, they are, doing a job. This is what they should be doing. But, this is long overdue from my perspective, because this budget argument between the executive and the legislature, it's been going on for a while. So it's not, one person said the budget was shift. We broke it on Spoon Talk. One group said it was shift and they blame the executive, and the executive said, oh no, this happened in the legislature. So why did they wait until September 30th to engage in this form of investigation? And one thing they didn't state, what powers do they have if they find any wrongdoing? Is everybody spoke here today, it's not just about investigating. My problem is not just about investigating, but we do have a history in our country where we just investigate, and nothing happens. If you take $200 million and you put it in a budget and you say unexplained, who does that? No financial person in their right mind will, except if you think you are the authority of all authorities and you have no checkpoints, then you would do that. When you abuse your power, you would do that. But nobody in the right mind will do any such thing to just put $2 million unexplained, and then to put 3-person funeral. There was Thomas Donan, there was Nangba, and somebody else funeral that the president contributed to. No breakdown as to how these things happened. And LSCC now is saying that they are involved. What actions are they going to take? What powers do they have? What are they doing? That's what I want to know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. One of the issue here is this unexplained $2.3 million at the bottom, miscellaneous, unexplained. So speaking to some of our associates, they are very concerned why the off budget, the major source of transfer, why the finance ministry and Gafar have to speak to this as well. Liberian people, 2.3 million unexplained, but it's going in thin air. And they can question other items here. Well, Mr. Dualu, talk to us on this issue. They are going with this document that we Spoon, you and myself here on the show. We broke the news, we shared this document, and now LSCC have it. Talk to us.
Yes, Stanton, and my brother Zeus Carter said something. Look, Stanton, we have a habit in the country where we establish an investigation to investigate the investigation that we've already investigated. This is a continuation of literally something to store the process. Look, there is no such thing as government budget that is unexplained. Listen to me very carefully, Liberian people. There is no such thing as a government budget that's unexplained. The only way, according to our law, the budget leaves the Liberian coffers, leaves the Liberian bank, they play our money in. There's a tracing mechanism that follows through that money. It goes to the central bank. There is a check. There is an account number attached to it. It goes to me, Mr. Dualu. So if the money stop at me and it disappear, they got to hold me until I determine where the money went. So when hearing unexplained, it's another way to store the process. Look, so let me say this. The off-budget spending, we have to call a spade a spade. It was designed in a way in order for people to go outside the confines of what the legislature has recommended. This is illegal. Let me repeat. Off-budget spending is when people don't want to go through the bureaucratic process. They want to hasten the process to their own benefit. And for a very long time, this has not benefited us. So why do we continue a process that does not benefit the society? This is very simple. There is no such thing as unexplained or unlocated government money. That is not true. When they tell you that, that is not true. It's impossible. Government money can be traced to the penny.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dwyer. Let me bring in Glendy. Let's wrap this up. We'll go to the phone line and talk to our people. Talk to me real quick. They are now digging into this out-budget document, 3 pages, different amount. Talk to me.
I think we all are saying the same thing. We talk a lot about this budget. We talk a lot. We heard a response from the Senate. We heard a response from the House of Representatives. So I think the investigation or looking into or auditing it, I think it's necessary. That's all I will say. I mean, we've exhausted talking on this topic. We just want to see if an audit is done, what's going to be found, what they're going to do, because the Dwalo is saying, giving us the interpretation, the definition of what off budget is, we can only say that they are the lawmakers. They are the ones that also have the ability to approve the budget and make the necessary changes if it's within the confines of their function. So we'll wait and see what the audit does.
Thank you, Glennie. Uncle Sam, let's close up on this.
I think this is complete hogwash. And the reason why this is complete hogwash is that I'm not in my lifetime seeing the FBI or any law enforcement agency anywhere will announce an investigation of financial improprieties to alert wrongdoers to start to hide evidence or to talk to one another. You know, this is like crazy stuff. If you suspect as an agency, legal investor with the power to investigate, you investigate, you don't announce it. You don't politicize it. You don't try to make yourself look big that we're investigating, we ask the public to wait. This is complete nonsense. This is not doing any serious country. Financial impropriety is financial impropriety. And if the legal people at the LSCC can make a determination that some laws were broken, you don't make an announcement so the corporates can start hiding evidence, they can speak to one another, and those things, you just do your investigation, give your findings to the prosecutor, and if they feel they have sufficient evidence that will bring them down with the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, they will indict and go forward.
Uncle Sam, Uncle Sam, I'm kind of confused. LCC put out a statement that they were going after Nathaniel McGill. You didn't ask them to do it quietly.
No. Stanton, do not always ask me a question when I did not react to that. And I choose what to react to. You know,
well, we're having a conversation. Don't get mad. We're having a conversation. I can ask you a question. You want to sanction me now?
I am under no obligation when I was a supporter of the CDC to make any statement that will undermine my association with the CDC. Yes. Okay. Just like you guys do when it comes to corruption within the Unity Party, you try to shave the truth. You have to caress it. You have to insinuate. That's the political process. People in the United States, J.D. Vance, when he was asked whether January 6th they broke the law, he parsed it. That's politics 101. If I'm associated with my political party, I will either be mum or I will try to basically nuance it to make my political party to look good. That's politics. I'm a politician.
Wow. Thank you, Uncle Sam.
Yes,
Thank you.
Wow. Yes, that's the truth.
Uncle Sam, okay now. Glennie, can you mute yourself, please? Glennie, can you mute yourself, please? Listen, guys, we are having a family program, right? We are allowed to ask each other questions. Please, you can ask me questions. I just love to remind folks, when Nathaniel McGill investigation came out from the same LCC data,
and I said nothing.
There you go. Dr. Buble, can you go ahead?
I said nothing. I simply said I support Nathaniel McGill. He should have his day in court. Simple. End of conversation.
Dr. Buble.
And I went there and I expressed myself.
Can we move to Dr. Buble now, please? Dr. Buble, please.
So no budget passes with something that says unexplained. Okay. Even if you want money for national security, which typically they don't give you explanation in the US, other places, you say national security. You don't say unexplained. So I think for the most part, Stanton, the people, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them who lead us are taking the Liberian people for granted, and they need to be more diligent in doing their job. But I want to say this. You know, the psychologists tell us that it's not the severity of punishment that deters people, but the certainty. The best way to fight corruption is make it a national phenomenon. Don't just go to LSCC. If the president announces that I want everybody who leads an agency to exercise zero tolerance with any act of corruption. Look, it doesn't have to be $1 million. If you're stealing $20, $50 all across the country, it'll be plenty of $1 million by the time you add it together. So it doesn't have to be $1 million. It needs to be zero tolerance. So if you steal $100, yeah, there'll be consequences. And we, the people, can participate in that serious initiative, right, to minimize corruption by not participating, paying under the table. And when you know something, you say something. Okay, so it can't just be get something, give it to LSCD. How much stuff LSCD will do? Every agency, if I'm heading an agency and you are not operating properly and you are doing corrupt things, we will arrest that and we will deal with it. If we have a zero tolerance policy, corruption will be minimized. That's what they did in Rwanda. The man just can't say, look, 2 things we're doing here for sure. We will be monitoring our spending. No plenty of money here, small cars, all the things. And you steal, you can't be here. Go in the private sector, go steal. They're thinking, well, we're not doing it yet. We're playing games. We're being intellectual with something that's crippling the majority of the people. The president, I'm waiting for the president. The president got something he needs to say when he comes.
Thank you very much again, guys. Welcome. Guys, wait, guys, guys, wait, please. I beg you.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Uncle Sam, wait now. We'll come to you. Just wait 1 minute.
Okay. I want to ask you a question.
I understand, Uncle Sam. We'll come to you. Can you just wait 1 minute,
But can
please?
I ask you, give me 30 seconds to ask you a question?
Uncle Sam, I had to give an announcement. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Stinky, let me ask you a question. This is important.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
When was the last time you heard a police department, the FBI, ever making a statement that they are calling somebody in for investigation? When did they ever do that? Do you remember that?
They do that all the time, man. Stop it. All the time. All the time. The FBI does it now all the time with consulting. They do that all the time.
That's part of now that they're calling somebody for investigation?
Yes, Sam, they do that all the time.
Give me an example.
Okay, so Uncle Sam, let's move on.
Give me an example.
I want to, Uncle Sam, let's move on with back here. Glenny, you want to?
The
reason, guys, we cannot overtalk. Glenny, can you please?
So I want to say here, my input on this show is simply integrity based. I just want to clarify that. I'm not here because I support a political party. I'm here because of Liberia. I speak to the issues based on how I see it and how I can interpret it. No one influences my judgment. I just want to make that clear because there are people watching us here and who come and trust the integrity of the people on here. And I don't want anybody looking at me that I'm here because I'm for boycott or I'm for CDC. I speak based on how I see it. And I just want to make that clarity. Thank
you, Glenn. So Isaac, you have your time to close up on this off-budget conversation.
Yes. Like we're singing a song, you know, action has to be taken. This stuff is either legal or illegal. If it's illegal, the people who spend our money illegally got to account for it, period. You know, there are rules to governance. And when you violate those rules, you should be accountable. It just, I mean, it's just simple. Standard. We can go over this thing over and over. LSCC should not take long to do this. The law is clear. As a legislature, are you guys aware of these expenses? Were you involved? No. You, what do you use the money for? Were you authorized? No. Okay. Wherever is misfeasance or whatever word they use, they apply it. The consequences, you, $2 million, you say you don't know, unexplained. Well, you better explain it, otherwise you're going to jail straight. The thing should be cut and dry and not that complex. And the thing in black and white. They themselves put it down and say unexplained. How you take $2 million worth of government money when people then sitting down and not in school, people then no blackboard, they ring beating them in the classroom, and then you say $2 million unexplained? That's not acceptable.
Thank you, Isaac. So we're going to go to the phone line. We're going to listen to our fellow Liberians first. We'll come back and we'll hear you guys, please. Let's on this topic about the LDCC investigation is very important to everyone. One of which I want to just remind you, though, you can go through the document. We have posted this before. But just imagine the $2.3 million unexplained for a while. Now, I will say this. Everybody here thought it. You decide. Whether you're from Unity Party, whether you're from CDC, you're independent, everybody thought that one. So, Diamond, please, let's go to the phone line.
Can I just have a point before?
That'll reach us. Let's come back, USA. We're backing you, Mama. We're backing you. Let's go to the phone line, and we're going to take 10 calls. Every little call can. We want to hear you. Your name and where you're joining us from, please.
Okay, Stanton, thank you. My name is Manja, and I'm the Vice Governor of Indiana, calling from the crossroads of America. The issue with this unspecified spending is just like you don't have receipt for the money you spend, and that's corruption. And so the government should now make it very clear to us who were the culprits, those that were involved in spending our money, hard-earned taxpayers' money, and without any receipt. We would rather want to know.
Thank you.
For saying, don't keep going.
Thank you. Yeah, your name and where you joining us from, please. Dama, you want to come on if you're there?
My name is Musa Keita. I'm calling from Minnesota, specifically Waterside.
Talk to us, Musa. Welcome to the show.
So it seems that LCC is starting from the bottom to the top. Because LCC should have investigated the investigation issue regarding NASCO. Nothing has been heard of that. So say LCC is going to investigate the all budgets.
Hello, your name and where you joining us from?
My name is S. Mamadou Klitawe. I'm calling you from Baltimore, Maryland, sir.
Are you the junior or are you the senior?
No, I'm the last.
Okay, you're the baby. Talk to us, my brother.
Oh, the war investigation.
You gotta turn your radio or your TV volume low and talking to the phone, please.
Oh, sorry, sir. The war investigation, as you all know, on this particular platform, yeah, as I was saying, sir, that war investigation, all of us know that what the police people are used to pack the corruption from day one. Human being that they say we investigate, you ever get result? No. Way back then, ministers were sacked for embezzlement from the president mouth on the news when we're small. Why is it not happening now? In Labropo, we're losing patience because the investigation, it'll just go, it don't end, we don't get no result. Then people use that now to steal the government money.
Thank you,
now,
Mama.
when they catch me, it will take 9 years.
Thank you.
And how it been going?
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let's take more calls. Your name and where you joining us from? Your name and where you joining us from? All right, let me take someone else. Your name and where you joining us from, please.
I'm Othello George calling from Minnesota.
Talk to us, Othello.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to tell you guys thank you for the hard work. I know, it's not an easy thing you guys do every day to leave your business schedule to come over and inform us. But I can tell you for free that those investigations, there will be no results. We just tired hearing all this investigation, that investigation, and getting still no results. It's sorrowful, man. Yeah, we're just tired of this thing.
Thank you. Thank you for your opinion on this. Your name and where you joining us from, please.
The name is Jerry Dobie. I'm calling from Springfield, man.
Talk to us, Jerry.
You see in our country, Liberia, the people, when they come into government, they take the place of the chopping spot. Some of them, they are opportune, they can advance country, they know better left. When the people get in small position, they begin to marginalize their own people. Sometimes they say that everything and say, we're very happy to our country. And you see them when they get it down, talking into the rescue government, they need to penalize the people that will take our country money. We will not talk free. Thank you for the opportunity. What's it?
Thank you. Your name and where you joining us from, please.
Yeah, sir, my name is Momo and Johnson. I'm calling from Charlotte Road, Pennsylvania.
Talk to us, Momo.
Yeah. So the problem about Liberia is that when it comes to Liberia, especially for the government, Liberia is like we talk and we can't do. We talk and we can't do. There are things that will come on from the beginning. It will be boiling like Coca-Cola. Oh, we will do this, we do that, we will prosecute. But the government, he will do this, he will do that. He will use hammer, he will try to wound those people. But at the end of the day, nothing's going to come from out of it. Since I was born up to now, there are many cases that have come out. The government has flagged them, but nothing comes from out of it. We just have to live by it. Thank you.
Thank you, Damo. Can we take at least 10 calls from Monrovia, Liberia, or the entire Liberia, please? Can we take calls?
Yes, sir, we can. The local numbers to call 0777-771075, 055-101075. 1 minute per caller, please. And let's go straight to the point to allow us to take at least 10 or more callers. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
You live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm Titus Joseph calling from Montpellier.
Go ahead, Titus.
Yeah, brother, this corruption, the issue, the problem for that particular the House of Representatives. The people they make the law in their own interest. So it will take us time for Liberia to get better. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Good evening.
Pleasant night to you. Let's hear you out, please.
Augustine, I'm from Pins. Augustine, I'm from Pinsville.
Go ahead.
My brother, this unending investigation. Every now and then we hear government is investigating, but the outcome is nothing. I'm sick and tired of this government we fought for, and I squarely believe that this president must come and do so. We are sick and tired. We just sit in this country suffering with the huge expectation we have in this government. I thought things could not be like this.
Okay, sir.
But we're seeing things going the other way around. Thank you, brother, for the opportunity.
Thank you for calling. Pleasant night to you. Let's hear you out.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're live.
Yeah, I'm Godfrey and Caesar calling from River G County, Fishtown.
Fishtown. How is Fishtown? How's River G?
We're doing better here, although the living condition of our people in all of the rural areas, it's frustrating.
What's on your mind? This particular topic.
I have to do have to do with our lawmaking in our county. Look, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Look, some days I want to have the CEO number to tell him more about River G County in the southeast. We have the District 3 River G County that I can tell you for free that there is no school in District 3. I'm not discussing District 2. I'm not discussing District 1. Look, children from school they will not go to school for 1 week. They will go to teacher farm to go at branch farm for teacher. We go through in our law paper for the county. They have different people.
Now, who the representative for that district, Dama? Can you ask him?
Who's your representative, River G District 3?
We have the representative for District 3, S.N. William.
Who?
Johnson S.N. William for District 3, River G County.
William Duncan?
William Johnson, District 3, River G County.
All right. We'll do a follow-up, but thank you for flagging that, yeah?
Okay, I have more information.
Okay.
Dama, get his number, and let's stop here because he's taking us to our next conversation. I don't want to say, but this is the reason why we open the phone line. Yeah, our own Liberian people, the whole district have no school. They got to go on the teacher farm to brush farm. We'll come back to you again, Dama, for us to go back to the phone line. But guys, let's wrap up on this thing. We got a lot of story to talk about. I will give you 30 seconds each. We listen to the callers. We then follow through with what this gentleman said concerning the school. But let's leave that for a bit because we'll come to it. Let's close up on the off-budget issue with LDCC investigation. Dr. Richardson, your 30 seconds.
So I wanted to add that we are going to hear people say, oh, that how we can do budget in the country. We're going to tell, say, oh, we don't explain things in our budget. We just put numbers there. But if that's how we've done it, it is not serving our people. It is wrong. We're not getting anything out of it. People are having God-like syndromes by putting unexplained $2 million. Nowhere in the world, especially when we have dilapidating schools that can benefit from money, then somebody has the audacity to just put money in a budget and don't have no explanation for that. So I'm saying if that's how we are used to doing it, if that's the logic, that's the explanation, that's wrong. I'm glad that we're getting on a good start. I'm glad we're having this conversation so people can begin to itemize. Let the people know how you are spending their money. And that's what I wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Mr. Dwalu, your 30-second closing on this.
Yes, Dr. Francine, thank you for giving me more time because you have spoken what I want to speak about. But I'm going to say this. Just because it's been done, it doesn't mean we have to continue that. We have to start from somewhere. The justification of how we've been doing it, it doesn't help anybody. But I want to say the importance of arrest. Look, irresponsible countries, they initiate arrest. It forces the corporate to point out to the other people that are facilitating their crimes. We have to attach a relatively high degree of seriousness to the people's business. If Dwalu stole or Dwalu cannot account for $2 million in his budget, you arrest Dwalu. When Dwalu sitting in South Beach, Dwalu will start talking. It doesn't mean Dwalu stole the money directly, but Dwalu will start talking. But when these investigations continue, the nonsense will just perpetuate itself to our detriment, to our children's hurt. Glendy.
I don't have any addition to the topic. We'll just wait to see what the others say, see what the president has to say, and then move on. I have no additional comments for this.
Thank you, Glendy. Thank you, sis. Mr. Jackson, please, Uncle Sam.
This is not a whodunit. This is not SI, where there's a murder and no one knows who did. The people responsible for writing the checks. The people responsible for passing the vouchers. So go after those people. So when somebody dies and we don't know who killed him, they still consider somebody died and they announce an investigation. But when there's a financial crime that's been committed and we know the people who are responsible, who signed the checks, we grab them. That's simple. You don't announce an investigation, Okay, they announced an investigation on Natanya McGill, and it was a circus. It was a circus. What has happened since Mr. Natanya McGill appeared for the investigation? What has happened? So this is not a serious effort at fighting corruption. This is just showmanship. If you're serious about fighting corruption, you will do forensic investigation. You will find out who did it, and then you announce an indictment, and you handcuff them, like Bible said, you take them to prison. But when you say, we call you for investigation, you are alerting the corporate to go and start to make excuses to hide it and talk among each other. So let's get serious, man.
Dr. Bokler.
I think it's important to always tie numbers to bad behavior to consequences. Every time we have these conversations, whether it's off budget, 2 million, please remember what it means for ordinary Liberians. We are actually squandering the opportunity that could be theirs. We're snuffing out the promise and potential. So they will be sitting on the ground going to school. So when people listening to this thing, we need to understand that these kinds of things require all of our energy, our effort, our voice, our advocacy, and action. Because what it really means, some people just take it lightly. Oh, well, man, they'll leave that man alone, man. They don't go away. But what it really means is that you're adversely affecting the lives of so many Liberian children. because $2 million can do so much for public school in the counties. So when we talk about these things, we're actually advocating, we're feeling the pain, we're moving past the actions of people to the consequence. Who's being hurt and how much? So a zero tolerance policy for corruption is very necessary in Liberia. Listen, a lot of us who live here, we work other places. We didn't steal the people money, so we know we can work in system and be honest. So stop people doing it because you let them. Crack down, okay? Crack down like they did in Rwanda, like they did in Botswana when they got their independence. Crack down, and people will change their behavior. Otherwise, this will continue.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Bopler. Thank you. Asif, talk to us. Let's close up on this.
Action, action, action. Let the government take action, and let it be tangible action commensurate with the amount of money that people are taking or not accounting for. Let them be clear about this off budget. If it's a bad practice, let it be terminated immediately. If it's something that is legal and a portion, let them be clear about it with legislative approval according to the Public Financial Management Law. Otherwise, I don't see us moving further. It will just be a circus. You know, people will come talk about it, launch investigation, and then we hear nothing else. But yes, investigative body can announce an investigation. They can be public. But a lot of times, the people who are announcing that investigation are extracted from their position, either suspended or just, suspended with pay. And then the investigation goes on that they have no influence in it, in the process.
Thank you very much, Asik. But let me end on this one. This is, as we try to move forward, guys, this is a form of embarrassment. And I'm not going to sit here to call anybody, but you guys are out there that are watching us. I know it's painful where we found our country today. We want our country to be better. But do you think in the process of making our country better, we should break the law? Man, my question is for you. Do you think in the process of making the way in which we have to make this great nation even greater, we should twist the Constitution because we're mad? I know sometimes it is painful and hurtful. Two things I want to say on this. I think the LCC is doing extremely well. With 20 or less than 20 folks over there working, and they have almost 300 cases to go through. The first thing is to open an investigation. Can anyone of us say, no, it's bad, do not open an investigation? Can we establish that? Those that listen to us, can they just listen where our minds are? It is wrong for LCC to open investigation now on this issue that came up November 30th. Today is the 4th of October. It is wrong to open an investigation. Dr. Richardson, just quick yes or no if you want to help me with my conversation here. Is it wrong for LCC to open an investigation on this off-budget issue? We're not hearing you, Dr. Richardson. Are you getting into the cycle too? Go ahead, Mama.
Yeah, for me with the men who are old, okay, because I'm old. So if legally, if this is according to the law that this is part of LSCC responsibility, then it is not wrong. But
okay, so I mean, it's part of the TOR, if you want to say that, in the LSCC. Tualu, as much as we are hurt and we want it to be done instantaneously, it is wrong right now for LSCC to step in and say we'll open an investigation. Tualu?
Yes, it is wrong.
Help me. Why you say it is wrong?
Because most things do not require investigation. They're already self-explanatory. That's it.
So with the budget coming up and they listed 3 different items and 3 different very important pages out there, don't you think the LC should go in there and ask the speaker and ask the pro tem and ask the executive as to why they have some of these things on those documents? You just wanted to just make a conclusion and say, well, you guys are guilty. And who you think the LCC should hold guilty?
And not holding anybody guilty. Everything has already been investigated. Every single budget that is released is investigated instantaneously. if Uncle Sam runs the Ministry of Finance,
so who LCC should go after right now?
Whoever the check went to, you have to go explain. Somebody has to be.
Isn't that part of the investigation,
The investigation. Look, Stanton, if you wrote a check of $5,000,
calm down. We're having a good conversation. Calm down.
If you wrote a check of $5,000 to me, it's been investigated immediately.
But
There's nothing behind it.
LCC is not part of the executive branch to say that they wrote the check. LCC is not part of the legislature. No. My question to you, they have to call some people in to ask this question too. Isn't that part of the...
No,
okay. Hold on. Let me show you something. Dora Becky, can you tell me on this document, right? Yeah. When they say unexplained, can you tell me who LCC should go to right now and arrest?
Yes, I can tell you that. Yeah, because let me tell you, though. Don't interrupt. Let me tell you.
I'm not interrupting you, brother. Talk to me.
I want you to pick any ministry. Just pick any ministry from your head.
I can't. No, we are seeing the document. I just can pick any ministry.
I ain't going to answer your question.
Just answer.
Any ministry. Pick any ministry right now.
Unexplained miscellaneous. Who should I go and arrest right now?
My man, pick any ministry. Let me tell you who to arrest right now. Pick any ministry.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm looking at the document.
Okay,
the document didn't say any ministry.
I will pick it for you. LPMC, right? It's a government autonomous agency. Every government ministry has an in-house audit division. There is an audit of every money that's released. So there's somebody responsible who signs the check. If there are two people, you arrest those two people. Where the check going, they will start explaining. The higher work.
No, I don't think that how it works. But thank you for answering my question. I disagree with you. Glenny, I know I'm trying to conclude on this. Do you agree with Dualu to just come at LCC and say, listen, we're going to arrest Dualu because he's the head of LPNC and the check was written to him without even asking him, inviting him to ask any question, just arrest him. Do you agree? Is that what we said to the Liberian people today?
So I wouldn't agree with that because every there's a finance department at every organization and there's a boss. There's someone that's leading. So if there's a check that was issued and we think that check issue was fraudulent, there are procedures to follow. I don't think that you just go in to grab the boss. If the boss is the one that falls in line for you to ask the question, then ask him questions where this check is from. But you can't just go and grab anybody and make them responsible for because they're the head of the entity. I don't think that works in a real world.
And that's where LCC will come in and open an investigation. But guys, I want to say thank you. In the military, you'll do that. And that's why we got to be very careful with Dualu and Uncle Sam here. And also my second point here, I totally disagree with Uncle Sam. When I'm doing my closer, a lot of folks say we agree with me. Uncle Sam sat on the show. Hey God. Uncle Sam sat on this show. He didn't say anything about Nathaniel McGill. He championed it. Now he want to blame LCC for opening an early investigation on this off-budget issue. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, man. We didn't go to LSE or LCE or LES, wherever he went to, but at least we get common sense. I think Uncle Sam is wrong on this one. And I think it will be in our best interest as people to speak to this because you know why? Not because you're sedition, that you can justify why you are not speaking to the LCC allegation against Nathaniel McGill. And by the way, I said on the show, they will not hold Nathaniel McGill responsible on what took place. The investigation is continuing. There will be no criminal charges or recommendation for Nathaniel McGill. I know that, speaking to my sources, and I 100% believe in that. But again, I will say to every one of you, I think it was a good conversation on this LCC issue. We will now move on to our next topic. Welcome to Spoon Talk. It's always good having you. No, sir. Let's move on.
The IAA, the Internal Audit Agency, is the one that does the investigation for the appropriateness of spending. So the LCC itself will not investigate, but they will collaborate with the IAA.
So, Uncle Sam, there's an investigation. My point is that they will investigate before arresting people, throwing them in jail like Dualu is recommending. That's all I'm saying. All right. So, okay. So let me bring the next conversation up. This is the other conversation came up today on front page newspaper. I just want your quick take to this one. Yeah, folks are saying that when nothing like this ever happened that these people fight, the Minister of Public Work, Roland Guinness, and his deputy, Prince Tamba. Front page Africa saying tension at the Ministry of Public Works have escalated, with Minister Roland Guinness and Deputy Minister of Technical Services, Prince Tamba, reportedly engaging in a physical altercation. Now, this is important, and this is also embarrassing. We reported this story the last time, and we said this. Honestly, it doesn't look good. But I can say to you that we reached out, and we, from the Ministry of Public Work, I will give it to these guys, and I will say my own findings tonight. But if I asked Front Page Africa said yes, they stand by the story. There was altercation. Now, altercation can come in any form, whether it was a physical fist fight, whether it was just loud argument, or whatever the case may be, you can tell me. I asked Front Page Africa saying they're standing by the story, and our sources have given us information on that I will bring to you later. Let me ask you, Dr. Richardson, this story is out there. If even it is not true, how is embarrassing this is to the government right now from Labor Ministry?
I think I agree with you. We can define altercation or fights in many ways. It could be emotional fight, it could be physical fights. So I agree with you on that point. However, though, the impact of having tension, as they describe it at the ministry, is significant. It can affect the Liberian people. Number one, when you have this kind of tension between two people who are in a position of power, it decreases the morale of the people that are working for them. The people begin to take sides, okay? They don't listen, they don't take order right. It's very distracting. Perhaps they can't even do their job. And even more significant is that it decreases productivity. These people are supposed to be reading, they're supposed to be approving contracts, they're supposed to be studying, the length of bridges and where we need to build new roads and infrastructure, and the flooding in the country. They're supposed to be talking about people building the alleyway. They can't do that because the people who are responsible for them, the bosses, are fighting. So this is bad. This is bad. And when you reduce productivity in the country, we're paying these people for nothing. So our money going in vain again. So this is how it affects the nation as a whole. That's what I need to add.
Thank you, Mr. Dwalu.
And for me personally, I don't have skin for people that are hailing an entire government agency having this kind of altercation. I don't think there should be no room for it. Zero tolerance of every kind. But I want to be very unequivocal here, guys. There is absolutely nothing that I've said is illegal. Everything I've said is entirely legal. Entirely legal. Let me tell you what Aristotle said. Man by nature is a noble beast. Absent law and justice, it's a noble being. Absent law and justice, he becomes a beast. If you don't put these people in jail right away, they say, my man, where the people check it? They will start calling names. That's how it's done in most places because it's check stopped with you. It is perfectly legal because the investigation has already been done by the auditing agency. Okay, account for the check, or we take it before a judge, and then you go to jail. That's how it's done. Let's start delaying it. We're a third world country.
Thank you. Let's go back, Glennie, to this public work issue. Talk to us, please.
So there's a couple of things happening here. We also have to not forget, we've talked about this before, but there is tension already at the ministry. So tension, if not immediately taken care of, if there is not a remedy to this situation, of course, it's going to escalate. I heard the story. I asked about the story. I was informed that there was no physical altercation. There was no fight. Front Page Africa is sticking by the story, but suffice it to say, with all of that, if this is happening at the ministry, this is embarrassing. This should not be happening, and it needs to be taken care of immediately, and that needs to stop. I still want to stand on the thing based on all of the things that we've heard. My opinion is still there that still is that there is some level of insubordination that's going on, and this is what is leading to every day there's something else. So someone needs to take care of what's happening so that we don't have these kind of distractions, because they're not good. They're just really not good for the survival of the ministry.
Do you think that ministry will survive?
Well, I think if it's the president, whoever
having both of them, let me be very straight. Having both of them there continue.
No, I don't think it will survive for both of them, because we cannot ignore the fact that there's tension. So even if I don't think where it is now that ministry can survive with the two people there right now. Someone has to go. Because if you have a subordinate who is not able to be subject to your authority, or you guys can work along, how are you going to be able to? There are things that you have to do through him, and this is a problem for the ministry. So that two of them, I don't think anybody can harmonize what's going on right now. I think it's beyond harmonization.
Thank you. Now, understand, talk to us on this, because every day is something new coming from public work, and the Liberians are being seriously, they are concerned now. I mean, just talk to us, Uncle Sam.
So let me speak to my Liberian people. Does this look like a serious government? I mean, this is seriously, folks. This is how serious government operates. Huh? I've got information that it was not a fisticuff, but there was an exchanges. And the reason why they are denying it, because they feel that both of them could be fired. So they're covering it up. Front Page is one of our most reputable newspapers. They all, 90 to 95% of the time, they get it right. And I spoke to my sources at Front Page, and they said, yes, there was verbal altercation, that people had to separate the sides. But because it got out there, and the way it got out there, they are both now backtracking because it looks bad. It looks bad for the government, and this is a cover up so the president cannot take action against both of them. That's my information from Front Page, my sources. I mean, I hope this could be fixed, but since June 26th at LDAA, with weapons ready to be discharged and people disarmed, the issue at NOCAL with the chairman and the president, then at Bureau of what they call a concession and all of those, right? So you see the evidence of this thing becoming like normal on the rescue train. You know why it's becoming normal? Because there has not been a firm decision the first time it occurred between a minister and a deputy, or between a principal and a deputy. You basically nip it in the bud right away. But the fact that it's festering in the different institutions, it says that, look, let's just give an example of what they did with the China trip, ladies and gentlemen, where the deputy was supposed to go to China, and the minister said, you're not going. And Grace Bay caved into that and said, both of you must go. That's not leadership. That's not leadership. That is like compromise. You don't even compromise between two children in your house. You don't. You take a firm action. And if President Joe Walker, he's arriving this weekend, if he doesn't demonstrate that he has the capacity to discipline those who work for him, I'm sorry. The train is going to be wrecked. I'm sorry. I have to say that.
Thank you. Dr. Bopler, please, let's talk on this issue. I want you to speak from different angles here. One, whether it was true, what are you hearing? Two, how embarrassing it is to this government. Dr. Bopler, can you talk to us, please?
I want to speak less about the embarrassment. I want to speak more about what it means for Liberia. We have 13,000 kilometers of roads in our country. Only 1,131 are paved. 8.7%. So 91.3% are unpaved. This ministry is primarily responsible for that. Even though you have the roads fund, but this minister is the chair and primarily building roads, paving roads, because roads create opportunity for movement, and movement creates socioeconomic development. This strategic agency cannot afford this kind of stuff. We need people who are professional, people who don't take things personal, people who work together well, people who are efficient, so that we keep getting good results. The road is paved, this part of the road is done, but we have this. So at this point, then it's a matter of expediency. I think it's beyond right or wrong. It is what's best for the country. 91% of our roads are not paved. Let's get people who can work together to pave the roads, because we need them. And it's on the president now to make a move.
Abba, thank you, Dr. Boblan. Azeba.
That's the key. Make a move. Make a move. I mean, we can talk here all day, no action. We're not getting any result. So, people still waiting for the president to come. Hopefully that will be the beginning of the moves. And you were making promises yesterday that he will act. And, we assume that you had some kind of conversation for you to be that confident about the president's action. So we can only look forward to, they got to set examples. Whether previous government, current government, examples have to be set for people to know that you don't mess with the people's money. And that's seeking the interest of the people, showing the people that you care for them. So, Chief, talk to the Pape. Hey, Pape, aye.
Can I
Well,
add
everybody, yes, Dr. Richardson.
So I'm hearing, and I don't know how true this is, I want to talk about the effect or the impact of nepotism on and insubordination on and decision making. So if it is true that Mr. Tamba has some relationship to the president, it makes it hard for him to make a decision about this. It makes it hard for him to work with Giddens, because he might feel like the Pape is my uncle, so I might do whatever I want to do, and it makes it hard for the Pape to make decision. So I just want to warn people in leadership that sometimes if you put a family member in a position, even though they're smart, they can get the job right, but their work relationships with other people might be hard because they think they have a one-off, they think that they're special or whatever. I'm not saying that is the case with Mr. Tamba, but I'm just saying that in the future, those who are making decisions should just keep that in mind, and you can have that discussion openly if you're hiring your family members, which is often not a good habit to do because of bias.
Okay, so let's just be, and you raised some very important issue that was on the front page Africa the last time. There is no biological relationship between Joseph Yuma Boyka, the president, to that of Prince Tamba. They're all from Lofa. Like Yeke would say, that's my uncle. And so many people would say my uncle because that's how I work in Lofa and it's other certain. But there is none whatsoever to say Joseph Yuma Boyka is the uncle to Prince Tamba. So we can speak to that. Secondly, is that this whole issue about what is going on. Yeah, you're right, Abba. The president know exactly. He's hearing and he's following the story. He's angry. He's angry that while we're too young, you can say they're well educated. Let's just forget about the TOR that say, well, you got to be a technician, you got to be an engineer, whatsoever. But why you can just work together? Why you just can work together? I mean, listen, Labira, is it bad for Joseph Yuma Boyka, the president, to look at two young men and say, Mr. Dwalu, you and no, Uncle Sam is old, Abba is old, so nobody here can even match Mr. Dwalu with. So I will match him with myself. You and Stanton go work at this.
What was Stanton?
No. I'm looking at the men there. We got our two men. You know, you go work to this place and you go ahead and, you know, and just produce for the Liberian people. I mean, what's the hit? Here's the catch. It's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamin. It's all about who giving contract and who's not signing on contract, who's not signing on the invoices. And that's what we are asking again. There must be an investigation, because some of the contracts that went out, my fellow Liberians, listen to this. Some of the contracts that went out, they were bogus contracts. The contracts that had kickbacks. So who putting the foot down to say this got to stop? I'm not accusing Rodan Guinness. I'm not accusing Prince Tamba. But that's the fundamental part of this whole argument, that every day they will not see eye to eye. Look at the report. Look at the letter, the warning letter that was sent to Prince Tamba. You didn't sign on the vouchers. Look at the allegations that you took 400,000. It's all about the Benjamin, folks. Somebody saying, I don't want to work with you. This is not what this is about, my character. We had some of the contractors, we spoke to them. They are angry themselves. They have now gotten all of the money up to today. So we said 22 million, right? Rodan Guinness said 8.9 million or 9.8 million, whatever the amount is. But people are still questioning why they're not given all of the money, number one, and why is it that they have to give back pickup truck, and why is it that all these little things happening, and the whole place now have turned to be a mess. And that's why it is important, my fellow Liberians, that the president will return, and he will return swinging, he will return speaking, and he must solve this issue. He must. Rodan Guinness is the minister proper. Prince Tamba is the deputy for technical. President Jose Yima Baka is the president of the Republic of Liberia. The bucks end with him. So maybe you want to say something, Mr. Duarte. I see you leaning forward.
Look, this Dr. Francine is right. I am not suggesting the issue of nepotism is existing in this case, but for a third world country, it is much more defined when you have supposedly connection to the power that be, the person that's in charge. But this is about the legacy of Honorable Bwaka. Look, so let me tell you something. And I've said it, I forgot who said this way back in the day. I think one of these philosophers. He said, listen, the person that has refused to lead is the very person that should lead. Here's another way they're saying it. If you're not willing to quit a job, if you don't have the capacity to quit a job, you should not be in that job to begin with. In Liberia, we put people in position. My man, you're going to lose my job. At the level of director and above, it's not about job. That means Dualo talking. It's not about job. Honorable Bwaka, this is your legacy. This is your legacy, sir. And look, I don't have any qualms about a relative of mine who, if I'm running an organization, that will stand in the way so my knee can spoil. No, I will move you from there. I will put you in jail if I have to do that. The next time you will not do it, you will not spoil my knee. Let me spoil my own knee. To begin with, Dr. Francis said it, don't bring them near you when you're running government. Because it will allow you not to make the decision you won't make.
So I can I have 30 seconds? Because I want to disagree with Stanton.
Please go ahead.
People don't have to have nepotistic influences because of blood relationship. So Joseph Bwaka could be Prince Tamba nephew when Prince Tamba was baby, and he knew him as an uncle. And to some degree, he may have an influence on him. And Prince Tamba can use that as a caveat to be able to walk around boldly because he knows Joseph Bwaka personally. So in our Liberian, in our African setting, not everyone is related. But if somebody know you for a long time, that's how you've been calling them. There's a tendency for me to feel that, oh, when I go to Uncle Joe, he will do this for me. And if Rodan Guinness doesn't know Uncle Joe like how Tamba knows it, Tamba can use that. So we cannot erase that, because that's the story that we're hearing. It was also put in the very in our Front Page Africa. That was the first story that was there. So these things, they have to be addressed because they have the potential to derail progress at an institution. And I think we can't just ignore that and say, oh, they're not blood related, so it may not be possible. I think the possibility still exists because everything we're hearing, this tension has continued. So it's something that has to be looked at.
Thank you very much, Glendy. And again,
Can I get 5 seconds? Yeah.
Go ahead.
So relationships do matter, and Glendy is on point. Doesn't have to be blood, but relationship may get you there, but professionalism and performance will keep you there. And if you're not doing the latter, we move you. You can be my biological brother, nephew. This is about country. If we come this far in personal relationship with Trump country loyalty, then those who are making the decision should not be making it. It's about Liberia, a country that's so far behind, but has promise and potential to move forward.
Yeah, so still let me get Chibi on 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm coming to you, Abba. Abba, 1 minute, please. What we stick on the story? Let me start with you, Abba. What would be the way forward? Your suggestion. I want you to include that, and we'll go around. Talk to me.
Well, there were a couple of communication that went on between Giddings, his subordinate, the executive mansion in the person of Crispy, and then after, I believe, since maybe Mr. Tama came back, there has been some interaction. And prior, there had to be something for them not to be on the same page in terms of what Mr. Tama was to execute, the time frame was executed, and then the information about the trip, whether it's just customary for the executive management to identify people in different ministries to go on trip without notifying the head of the agency or the MAC. So there's some things that don't seem to be just all above board. And that's where decision making comes in. But relationships do matter. And they shouldn't, but they do matter. And when we're talking about merit, a lot of times our system is not about merit. It's just about connection, who can facilitate, or quote unquote, who you trust. And when those factors come into play, sometimes there is always an odd man out. So unless we build a system of merit, of pragmatism, of honesty, and being able to be straightforward, the Dwalu say that your cousin, that your family member, your brother, if they mess up. You don't side with them. You do the right thing. And hopefully in this case, I don't know Tama from anywhere. I don't know his relationship to Boyka, but definitely we know that ethnicity and tribalism or coming from the same country matters. So hopefully this will not matter in this case, and the president will be objective and make his decision as fast as possible. Because there is some aspect of insubordination, whether we want to say or not.
Thank you, Verb. Thank you. So your suggestion moving forward would be what you would advise President Boyka to do real quick, Abba.
My advice would be to look at the case. If there's insubordination, then Tama can work with him. If there's other issues like the accusation against Tama that he took money, opened an account and took money, that's damaging, But then there are other people who may probably be accusing Giddings too. I know on this platform, people on this platform have accused Giddings about the 22 million where he insisted is 8.9 million. So all of those things probably factor in, but the president has to be speedy in making these administrative decisions when it comes to the people he appointed. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Abba. Let me go to Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam, the way forward, your suggestion to the president and your take.
I don't know if you can change somebody's personality when they're almost 80 years old. I really don't. This has everything to do with who Joe Boyka is. Everything. I mean, no, you would not tolerate what is happening in your home. If you have two domestic workers, or if you're running an organization, and you won't tolerate that. Not even for a day. I can't be running an organization and have two people who are responsible for a strategic area. They can't get along. I would get rid of both of them the same day. There have been communication between the public works and the executive mansion for the last 9 months. This is not something that just all of a sudden boiled up to the surface. It has been simmering under there for months. Just like the LDEA, things were simmering under there for months. When you have things simmering under for months and you take no action, it boils to the top. It makes the organization look flimsy. It make you look indecisive, and your whole mission looks like you're not ready to accomplish your mission. So it bothers me that the Liberian people put their entire faith in this one man, and they believe that they had the temerity, the bravery to make instantaneous decision on behalf of the people of Liberia. And it's taking 9 months and 5 months and months to make simple person. Tamba and Giddens are not the only educated Liberians. They're not indispensable to the Ministry of Public Works. They're not indispensable. Get rid of both of them and go on a recruiting team and find 2 other qualified Liberians and bring them. We can work together. It is looking bad for the administration. It is looking extremely bad. He looks like he's indecisive. And that's not the leadership the Liberian people need at this critical juncture in our development.
Augustine, thank you. Thank you for your point. We have to go. We have to move on. You guys spoke, Dr. Richardson and Duadu, right? Okay, go ahead, Dr. Richardson. We'll keep Duadu for last.
So to answer your question, I believe in competency and experience and proven track record. When we looked at what the law says that a minister is supposed to have when it comes to the ministry, it says that once at least you know how to design, how to create, demonstrate, technical things like building or a bridge or a street or something like that. So I don't know, and I don't believe that that is in Giddens' background. I understand, and I read about Giddens. He came from the Judy Moore type era out of Ellen Johnson's executive mansion area. He was here. He explained that himself as well. So I don't know if he's the right fit for this very, very important agency that we have. And I'm not even. I'm not the kind of person who say, okay, you have to have the degree, but that's a crucial area. That's a technical area. There's other parts, other offices, other ministry. You don't have to necessarily have the degree and you still function well. But I think you know how to at least know some technical knowledge about building a bridge, fixing a road, because if you depend on somebody like Tamba or somebody like an engineer to show you how these things are done, you may be wrong at times, because they may give you false information, and you will not know how to supervise them because you may be intimidated by their knowledge. Number 2, I believe that Tamba, in the letter, it says that he sees the voucher. He didn't sign them, and his reason for him not signing them, he said, I wasn't here and I did not oversee these vouchers that you are asking me to sign. That's what we heard here. Okay, and I believe he's right, because I wouldn't want to sign anything that I don't oversee or I don't know about. Okay, however, I don't know if he has the right to seize the voucher. I don't think that he has that right. That is not his property. That is not his personal property. So if you ask me, I believe that I will send Giddens to another area that I think he's well fitted. He seems to me to work well in protocol, the Office of Protocol, then. Because $8.9 million, I'm not quite seeing where the money went in terms of road building in Liberia, in terms of the flood. I did see there was a video of him trying to break alleyways. And so I've heard say, I read about Tamba. Tamba seems to have built roads. He worked with some important credential agency like the United Nations, and he built roads in other parts of the world. So I will more likely go with him than I would go with Giddens. So to answer your question, there you have it.
Dr. Richardson, thank you very much. Mr. Duadu, can you close us? We're going to go to the phone line and take some
calls. Needs to speak. One more thing. Tama needs to speak. He has not spoken yet. We have not heard him, so I would love
I think he was on OK FM. Spencer, the question again was, what should Honorable Baka do, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to say this to you. Leadership does not concern itself first, not with feelings, not with emotions. It goes to mission accomplishment, the output of the agency, and then true welfare. So for me to care about you, I have to be able to first achieve the task at hand. Anything that hinders the accomplishment of the task of that agency has to be removed because the agency has to meet its goals. I want to say this, Stanton. Look, the agency, Honorable Baka is not doing anything that I'm going to tell him to do. The agency has a rule, it has a guideline. The guideline is simple. If me and Asif fight, I say that my boss, if me and Asif fight in the agency, we go home. Maybe we fire. If I steal, I go home. If I punch somebody, I go home. If I threaten somebody, maybe I'm fired. Follow what the agency guideline says. Don't hesitate. Leaders do not hesitate making decisions that are supposed to be made. It is that simple.
So, okay, thank you very much, Mr. Dwado, folks. Dama, if you're there, let's go back to the phone line on this topic. We got one more conversation. We are receiving information that LDCC is gearing up to investigate, Modal. Okay, we're going back to LDCC, or we can keep it for tomorrow. LDCC is gearing up to investigate a full investigation, make Modal investigation a priority. So, let me go ahead and just go back to the phone line, folks, and let's just listen to our people up there. What's your take? Diamond, if you're there, please. What's your take, my fellow Liberian, on this public work saga? Okay, 30-second quick. Let us know. It's getting more frustrating. It's getting more embarrassing. But we got to listen to you. What say you, Diamond?
Okay, CEO, let's go to the phone line and hear from Liberians, beginning with this person here. Hello, pleasant night to you. Hello.
Yeah, squeeze this one in real quick. Is that person not ready?
Yeah, the chief said talking.
Go ahead, your name and where you joining us from. Only on public work, please.
Yeah, how are you? This is Musa Keita.
Talk to us.
The honorary factor of public work is very simple. So it came from recommendations we made. We learned from Franklin Africa that Jeremiah Kun is the one, even though Guinness is a unity partisan though. But Jeremiah Kun power went behind to become minister, even though there was a problem with the unity party to go there. And place time becomes worker interest. So both parties are depending on their backbones to go ahead with a particular issue. But to be frank, they are all young. I expected to work together. He is my classmate. I also respect Tama as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, folks. If you call, yes, indeed, we'll stick to this issue about public work. Let's hear you. I'm going to take few, and Dama will take few. Then we'll try to close the show. Your name and where you joining us from?
Yes, Sandra, how you doing? This is calling from Iowa.
Talk to us, Bishop.
This is my recommendation to the public work minister on our various rules. We don't have quota rule. We only got the model rules that go every part of our country. This will be my recommendation. If the first rule comes this time, they should stop all the heavy trucks. They should know the type of trucks that travel from Ganta to Sano, that travel from Bassa to Maryland.
Let's narrow it down, Pape. Let's narrow it down on the complaint and the fighting at the public work ministry, please. What say you?
Look, Mr. Waterford, this thing can be settled. This thing can be settled. I don't know why people are fighting among themselves. They say they have a Joshua administration or Wahala in Joshua administration.
What do you want? What do you want President Bwaka to do, sir?
To call these people together and warn them.
He did already. We heard that he did already. He spoke to both of them. It's still moving on. What do you want him to? What do you want him to do next?
Okay, let him change one of them.
Thank you.
And I got recommendation.
Well, hold on to your recommendation, sir. Your name and where you're joining us from, please. Can you lower the volume? Can you lower the volume of your radio, your TV, or computer, and speak into the phone, please? Okay. Your name and where you joining us from, please.
How you doing, CEO?
I'm great. Talk to us, please.
Good evening to all the panelists. Mr. Stanton, thank you for affording me the opportunity. Look, I hate to agree with Edition, but let me agree with Mr. St. Jackson today. Look, CEO, we supported the rescue mission
for progress. The president does not necessarily have to be in a country. See what's happening? We are disgraced. Anywhere we go, at places, people are telling us there's a rescue mission. The president needs to act. We need a progressive president for LAPRO to progress. Thank you, man. I'm getting frustrated. Thank you.
My brother, please don't get frustrated. We're only 9 months in this business. Let me take a call. Your name and where you joining us from. If you say you're frustrated, you'll make Samuel Jackson happy. Your name and where are you joining us from, please?
My name is Michael. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Can you speak up, please?
My name is Michael. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Michael, talk to us on the public work issue.
Yeah, my take on the public work issue. I feel that this guy, Tama feel that his credential is better than that of Giddings. That is one of the reasons I think he is not respecting the boss. Tama complained that he came in the ministry and met those contracts agreed on. Okay, it was 100 days deliverable Giddings and others were working on. You came in as the deputy for technical affairs. I believe Tama should have started his job, started to work with those agreements. And if those guys are not working as the technical for deputy for technical affairs, make a recommendation that Giddings, these agreements, the contractor are not doing what they agreed to do. But you cannot say that I wasn't here and so I cannot sign the voucher.
Thank you.
When Joseph Boyka say I wasn't in as president when Joe Weah did this, so I'm not doing it, I believe he's supposed to do his job.
Thank you. Let me hold you right there. You make your point. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Your name and where you joining us from, please.
This is George Morris calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Georgie, talk to us now.
Yeah, CEO, I met Guinea a couple of months when you were in the States. You see, some of the guys in our country, they really want work in the interest of the people. But some are there for themselves. So if you get those two people to a ministry, you will see problem. And that's what's going on. You see? So the only person that can settle it is the president. If the people are not working in the interest of the people, let them go. Chatera once said this, the government will preserve national team. If you take out Rovado, that does not mean Rovado can play, but you need first leg in the game.
Thank you.
So that's try to be the same to do it.
Thank you very much. We'll take this one. Thank you. Your name and where you joining us from? Your name. Yes, talk to us, please. I beg, if you're calling, you got to pay attention, though. We have to leave you because you're not listening. Your name and where you joining us from, please.
Yeah, my name is.
Your name? Hello? All right, let me take this one. Your name and where you joining us from?
Hello.
Yeah, talk to us now.
Hey, Santon, thank you for the show. My name is Henry Tambakori. I'm calling you directly from Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm finding the show. My concern has to do with his President Yuma Bwaka. He is not making any good decision for our country, for that particular issue at the ministry over there. For me, what I see over there is two things are happening over there. One is, power struggle. And the second thing happening over there, there's a kickback, corruption. So my recommendation to the president is, all right, you have to decide, then go ahead and do it and save our country. It's too much of this. It's not good for our country, sir.
Thank you very much for your contribution. I'll bring the last person in for tonight. Your name and where are you calling us from? Okay, let me try this person. Your name and where are you joining us from?
Yeah, my name is Joseph Smith and I'm calling from Connecticut.
Talk to us, Joe.
You got to come and help us to run this country. Because we don't open our time finish. We got to depend on the young people then now. They young black man, he was corrupt.
Joseph Boga took off. He got 2 people fighting, and he can't even solve the problem. They said the vice president supporting one person, he supporting one party, and 2 of them, they can't solve the problem. My children, they are not come for you to rescue the country. They say to the dwell and that the rated to the order on our show, the job we are there, and the job work, all of them is people. You got to form some kind of group. They seem good at Henry Costa and COP. You have to give it different need. Young people come together to rescue the country. Joe Walker can make it. Joe we can make it. The country will die, my people. Y'all come together and rescue the country. Therefore, you can depend on them, my children. I want time finish. Y'all can lead the country, and all my Jackson can be your advisor. Y'all don't count the country gone. Joe Walker can make it. They make it toy yesterday and that. Now we have to see all the money you say, my children, y'all can save the country. We give it on y'all.
Thank you very much for your call. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you for each conversation, each topic. We're going to open the phone line. We would like to hear you and hear your view. Again, I want to say thanks to all of you that are following us continuously. We are all here trying to do our best.
Damon has not taken call yesterday to Damon from back home.
Can you please call Damon? Damon, are you there, or you going to eat?
Ariel.
Oh, okay.
Take us.
All right, let's take this person here. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
You live. Go ahead, straight to the public work issue.
Yeah. Thank you very much for putting me on. You can't cut somebody here when he's not present. There is something can happen before something happens. I think some part of last week I heard spoke that this summer man received a letter. And because the minister did not receive the letter, he stopped him. And that letter went to the national bank. Then the men are there, he paid for 2 of them for them to go. In the first place, money that they spend on 2 of them, they can tell how much they spend on them.
So what should the president do in this case? That's the question. What should the president do?
The president is supposed to look. If it comes to a point that this man is at fault of stealing, okay, that one is lying number. I believe that you can't be deputy and be minister at the same time. You gotta respect him.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Let's take this person here. Hello.
Yeah, Damon?
Yes, you live. Let's hear you out quickly to the public works issue. What should the president do?
I'm Washington. I have 2 issues because of time. I think one is somebody just said there are 2 group of people. So we don't take them from this country. They will continue to elect the people. Because everywhere we see you're sitting on our show for now to 2029, the people there. There's 2 group of people who are not making with this country. So we have to choose people that want me a former party, but party GDP, I think, and they're taking an interview. Engaging people are doing a job with the campaign. So
all right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's part of the campaign awareness. Let's take this next person here. Hello.
Yeah, hello. How you doing?
Good. Let's hear you out, please. To the public works issue quickly.
Yes, I did get moved from Division number 3, most of our country. President Boga will not do anything. The reason is very simple. Because the mayor appointed his nephew as deputy. So he will now want for a nephew to feed back.
Okay.
And when he start gaining, people will say he lets his nephew start gaining. So we just get another 6 years to suffer.
All right.
Boga will not do nothing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's take this last person so you guys can have chance to properly close. Let's take this person here. Hello.
Hello.
You live, sir. Let's hear you out. What should President Boakai do? Public work situation.
Yeah, this is Maurice David Gouet from Baptist Seminary. My brother, our president now, President Joseph Nima Boakai, really needs to do something serious concerning this country. Because this the government are getting to power and Liberian people were angry and voted George Manasseh out. And we voted him in order to bring changes in our country, knowing that he have a lot of experience.
Yes, sir. What should the president do? Public works case.
The public work, my recommendation is that he should be able to get this men out. The men are not serious.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me put another person on board.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
You're welcome. See you. There you have it.
Dama, thank you. Folks, again, as you follow Spoon Talk, we want to say thank you very much. This is what we do, and this is what we do continuously. We want to hear from you. This thing is not only Spoon Talk problem. It's not only Spoon Talk wahala. It's everybody wahala. We see our own. We get sick. We stay calm and talk. Information reaching out as we go into our closing for the program tonight. They are opening investigation on Amin Modal. Then I asked one of the folks that called me, and I said, why not double job? Hey, why not Abdullah Kamara? Because it's not only Amin Modal that we flag. The money came from Red Dwalu, LRA through the Metec. What about Abdullah Kamara that GSC did a whole audit on, and Abdullah said nothing will come out of it? Abdullah spoke to someone, and he said nothing will come out of this thing. And, I don't know why Abdullah depending on. So, my fellow Liberians, I stay humble. For me, I can tell you this. Everybody get a finger crossed. Today is Friday, the 4th of October. President Joseph Boakai must return, and he will return to the country. He will return to the country, and we believe that he will take the necessary action to move the government, to move the country, to move the people forward. Make no mistake. Every day is a new thing happening in the country. I mean, what say you? Look at people are complaining. I don't want you to give Uncle Sam ammunition. He's talking too much anyway. Let's be fair, folks. We want to be solution driven. We talk about moving the country forward. But if President Boakai, something I believe, take this necessary action to move the country forward, Uncle Sam will come here and be screaming. You know why? Uncle Sam doesn't want the president to take action. That's his goal. He wanted the president to be a failed president. I said, though, we pray every day that these things happen. Because I said, though, praying that Joseph Boakai shouldn't take action. That's CDC goal. But I'm not going to beat on sedition today. I'm going to tell my folks within this government, what can't we do right? I mean, why? I mean, why are we just where we are today? Why too much of fighting? He was still, no, don't talk about it. We have to talk about it because we want you to do right. We want Amin to do right. We want Abdullah Kamara to do right. We want Rodan Gaines and Prince Tamba to do right. We want Double Jala to do right. We want the president to have a good legacy. And the Liberian people should benefit. It's all about the Liberian people. There was a story that came up today, and I'm keeping it because, again, let me just announce it, that the RPD given for cement, for steel, and other issue by Amin Modal, that China Union brought in their own cement, they order their own steel. It's illegal. Well, we get the executive order that was sent out by the president. Did they give Amin Modal the right to give other people RPD on cement? You know how many cement factories we have in the country? Almost full. But China Union is bringing their own cement. China Union is bringing their own steel. Another investigation again. We have to document. Folks, we will tell you the truth. We will say it. And this thing must stop. When we end up this, I really want to again remind every one of us. The same thing still happening. Over-the-counter withdrawal from CBL. We receive information, a lot of money coming from CBL. They call it over-the-counter withdrawal. A lot of money coming from NSA, millions of dollars from NSA. They can just write a check and say we are on operation. When would this NSA people say they are legal withdrawal stop? Who benefited from this NSA issue? Who really benefited? On George Manor, we are almost $80 million. So 9 months now, who benefiting? But the whole NSA thing, that they can tell you that they get a person money. How they want us to believe because they are covert operation. But who really benefited under the whole NSA thing? Who getting rich? And I will announce this to you also. You know how many people within this government just bought house in Ghana? This government, 9 months government. You know how many people right now connected to this government have property in Ghana that they just bought? Please don't allow us to go there, folks. Please.
So now you want to start revolution in the country, eh?
No. Listen, I'm trying for us to fix it, Uncle Sam. I'm not starting no revolution in the country because it will not help us. 1990, we did that, 1989, and 250,000 people died. I want to appeal to folks that the president have entrusted and say, come and work in my government. Let's build Liberia. Let's think about a new Liberia. Let's dream about a new Liberia. You know how many of these people right now in this government got property? They build mansions. They bought mansion in Ghana. You think we're sleeping? It is painful. It is painful. It is. So for my closing, I still believe in President Joseph Yima Boakai that he will push when he say, let's think Liberia, let's love Liberia, and let's build Liberia. And I think I still believe in that, though. I don't know about you. But I would take him again and again when it comes between him and George Manawea. I would take him. This is serious, folks. How can you in 9 months buy a mansion in Ghana? You never owned a mansion in Liberia, but now you buy homes in Ghana in 9 months. What's going on? Where you got the money from? Oh, the money was sitting somewhere and you were just waiting to get your government job, then you use your money? And that's what the American, they are investigating. We got to wake up, folks. And we'll start calling some of the guys' names starting next week. How can you buy a mansion in Ghana? We beat on CDC during the election time, and you are doing the same old thing. Some of them finished buying the property in Ghana. How wicked is that, folks? Where you got the money from? But let God bless us, man. Have a good Saturday. Don't forget, on Sunday, we have Josiah Joker, the CSA bus. We have it on Sunday. Damo, you didn't put it up. I thought you uploaded it, Damo. We have the CSA boss, Josiah Joker, will be our guest one-on-one with the CEO. Tomorrow, we have a wonderful show. Don't forget, Pastor Goba from Minnesota. Glennie, your pastor is coming back. We hope you'll be on time to talk about his campaign activities. And for 30 minutes or 1 hour, then we'll go into our normal conversation. Thank you very much, Damo. Josiah Joker, one-on-one with the CEO on Sunday. He will be our guest. We'll talk about CSA. We'll talk about other issues affecting the country. We want to say thank you for joining us today. Listen, I'm not too well, but I got to push it. And I say thanks to all of my good friends here to make us to have a wonderful show today. Let's do the closing. It will be Dr. Richardson, our sister Glennie. Then we'll go to Mr. Duadu and the rest of the team. Dr. Richardson.
Yeah, so I'd like to clarify something you end up on, Stanton, is that organization policy which reserves certain businesses for Liberians. Okay, so if you tell me that people are bringing cement into the country, there's somebody that has to make the blocks, and the block making is reserved for Liberians. You know, block making, supply of sand, operation of gas station, and petting. I'm just only giving you 4 of those jobs that are reserved for Liberians. So that's the first thing that came to my mind. The second thing is that I tie our investigation business. Every day investigation, everywhere we turn investigation. Yeah, it's good that we have to have some process to determine who's right.
So you defending Duadu now because we were on one side for the end of the show. Now you take Duadu side. You tell me investigation too.
I tell you, that doesn't mean that it shouldn't happen, okay? But I tell you what I want, and I think I've stressed this before. I want to see action. I don't want us to just be investigating because I want to profile Liberia. Every small thing we investigate, everything we investigating something. Let's take action, because you know what? When you take action, you deter, okay? You begin to build a mindset. You begin to build Liberian people to say, I will not steal because I know I steal, I'll go to jail. But if you just say, we'll investigate, lead an investigation like that, nothing will happen. They will continue to stealing, will not change, nothing, will not have no reinforcement for doing good. Okay? Because lack of investigation that is just ongoing, it reinforces doing bad. It reinforces stealing. Okay. The next thing we talk about was public works. Yeah, in that case, it's a case of competency. It's a case of moving to the rank of politics. The case of competency will be that of Tamba. The case of moving through the ranks of politics will be that of Gideons. The case of nepotism will be Tamba. The case of money and contractors. We have to find out how these monies were divided. 8.9 million on roads, and I'm not quite seeing it. I know it's rainy season in Liberia, okay? But I do know, I remember that Gideons also defied President Buckeye's stopping of the bombing Western clusters business. Remember that story, guys? And Center, remember when President Buckeye ordered bombing to be shut, Western cluster to be shut down? The public work minister shut it, asked for it to be open. So it makes me wonder who's working in the best interest of our country. But if you ask me the question that you asked before, and I repeat myself, I believe that Gideon should go back to protocol in the executive mansion where he, did a good job, and then we should keep Tamba. That would be my recommendation. I'm keeping Tamba. I don't know him for Adam Stray Cat. My people can say, but sorry, they just slip out. That a bad habit, right? How the woman used to talk.
That is conga in you. That is conga in you.
Yeah, I knew you were going to add that one there. Okay, so I don't know him, but what I do know, I read about him a little bit. I know that he has the competence and experience in building roads, and that's what I need. I don't want to hear 90-something% of the roads in the country are not built. That doesn't sit well for a country like ours. Lastly, I just want to put a plug in for Spoon Talk Business today. We did a great job. We talked about the Liberianization policy today. And like a lot of Liberians called in and they had concerns about businesses. So we want to continue doing that. We want to continue to push whatever way you can do the private sector of the country. That would be helpful. Also today, today is All Liberian Day. Today I did a workshop in Bon Mines today with the students. They were very impressive. We did a workshop on what is wellness. Believe it or not, wellness is interrelated to the school business we're talking about, because if you are not well, you can't learn, okay? You can't function your job. You're not well, you'll be fighting your boss. your boss will have altercation. Some aspect of your wellness is lagging behind. We talked about the dimensions of wellness: your intellectual wellness, your financial wellness, your social wellness, your psychological wellness, your spiritual wellness. So your environmental wellness, string paper, plastic bag, all over the country. That tells us something not right with us. Oh, I know I gotta go.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. We gotta go.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Bye-bye. I'm done.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Waiting, Sister Glendy.
So great show. I would hope that every time we come here, not that I hope, but every time we come here, we come with a renewed degree of wanting a better Liberia. And that's why we're here. That's why we make the sacrifices. Whether we feel well or we don't, we come here to talk about Liberia. I still stand by the fact that I would hope that when the president does returns, all of these issues that we've been talking about, especially DEA, will be addressed. I still feel there is some degree of subordination at the Ministry of Public Works, and I would hope that that will be investigated. I know that why it is that Tama may be an engineer, he has never worked at Public Works before. Gideons has worked there, whether he has an engineering degree, and that's my opinion or not. But I still think that's what is going on with the two of them. It's not right, and it needs to be addressed. And if it happens that the president decides whether Gideons should leave or Tama should leave, then that would be his decision. But something needs to happen there. We cannot continue to have this, because this is not how it's done. If you have a supervisor, my dad used to say, when somebody asks you to do something, you do it first, then you complain after. because it would show that, yes, I follow what you said, but I don't think the way you said it to me or how you did it was correct. So it's important that this phase that we're seeing and this output of all of this and negative energy, that it will be addressed. And today is National Smile Day, so everybody should smile for the camera. Happy Smile Day to the world. But it was good being on. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Stanton, please smile. Today is Smile Day. Stanton.
That's it. That's fast. You're not smiling.
Smile for what? Let Glenn leave me, man. What am I smile for? Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Eduardo.
Yeah, thank you, Stanton. To my brother Henry Williams, my man. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Fofi Fofana, welcome to the show. Hey, Rusty Zing, I know you can get on my case for my man Alea business. I sent you a friend request. Comfort Gift Floor, you said Eduardo love to do everything Army way. That ain't true, mama. I love to do everything with a constitutional ferocity. That ain't Army way. Look, we have a country that is at least 100 years behind the developed country. Minimally, we're 100 years behind. We can develop Liberia by being passive. We have to introduce a calculated degree of legal force to get the results we want. A leader does not apologize for doing the right thing. He does not apologize for that. As long as it's just and legal, it must be done swiftly. Dr. Brooker mentioned on the show, listen, we have to attach a degree of consequence to people's action. It has to be immediate, like he said. It has to be immediate. When you prolong that, it sends the wrong message. Our country is not going to develop if we continue to say we don't want to hurt people's feelings. It is not about anybody's feeling. If you're grown up and you decide to go work in the administration that should be providing results for our people, and you believe your feelings trump the provision of services to the Liberian people, something is inherently wrong with you. I will continue to stress this point without hesitation. I will continue to push this because this country has to be set right. Look, do you realize that we've been in the wilderness for almost 200 years? Literally just turning around. Moses, right? You the pastors are there. Moses led the Israelites in the wilderness. They're just turning around. We've been there longer than the Israelites been. They were there 40 years. We're there almost 200 years with no direction because I don't want to hurt Uncle Sam's feeling. But what about Uncle Sam's hurting the be better in the country with his decisions? What takes precedence over what? We have to make the choice as to whether we want to improve Liberia or we want to appease somebody. You cannot appease people in leadership. You have to get a job done or you have to step aside. It is that simple. When you're finished talking, the Glendy said, do the job for it, and then you come by and say, and the way you tell me to do the job, you hear my feeling. Then we go back while we drink it on Kakatan Highway, then we discuss your feeling. But in the meantime, let's put cassava and rest on the table of the people. Uncle Sam.
Yeah, thank you very much, Wallo, and thank you, everybody. And my favorite panelist, Dr. Francine Chenoweth Richardson, only because she was one of the first people to buy my book. Glendy hasn't bought my book.
Only because that?
I bought that book too.
Yeah, so I know that. Okay. But look, seriously, guys, I hope I have enough time because I want to say something tonight that I hope that we can all learn something from. When the election happened and President Boyka won, I have a very, very close friend. I'm going to expose him tonight for our friendship. I typically don't expose my friends because if people dislike me, they would dislike their person because I'm very controversial. But there's a guy that I love out of this world. His name is John Sembe Mbalu. I go to his office in Woodbridge, Virginia on a regular basis. Most times I'm in the States, I spend a day or two not to his house, near his house, near his office, and we talk. We've been doing it for like several years now. So Mbalu has an office near my family people property in East Legon on Lagos Avenue. I went there and I said, we were talking about some of the things that he wanted to change. And he had this great idea about setting up a Council of Economic Advisors in the presidency, that he would bring the best and the brightest. And I told John, I can't be part of this because I'm very controversial. I support the CDC and this, but I need younger, more energetic people to do that. So I was very excited. And he and Boyka had a pact. They had a pact that John Molu would be in the presidency, Council of Economic Advisor, and then they would coordinate and monitor the efficiencies of the administration. And I was very, very excited. Okay. So when he formed the government, and I didn't hear John Molu, and a month or 2 or 3, I see that Molu was estranged. And I know for a fact that when the president was in Houston one time, Molu spoke to him. I went there, and he said, I heard, Mr. Molu, people say that you are too not controversial. You like to be like, what do they say? Well, like people say, you're too strict. They don't win near my government. Because if you can't hear my government, then so that was the first instinct I heard. Instead, let me just give me a minute.
No, but that's not true though. Did Molu tell you that?
Yes.
No, Uncle Sam, don't do this to Molu. He didn't say that to you.
I stand by what I'm saying. If Molu wants to deny it, he can deny it, but I stand by it.
Did Molu tell you that the president said you're too straight, so don't condemn my government?
Words to that effect.
Wow, Uncle Sam.
Yes. Listen to me.
Go ahead.
Second thing is when the president formed the asset recovery, and as far as I'm concerned, the one person that I know, there may be other Liberians, most qualified to head asset recovery is a brilliant young man in Minnesota named Alex Coffey. When he did not put Alex Coffey there, or somebody with a requisite qualification like Alex Coffey, but he put a guy, my friend, what's his name? What that man named, the asset recovery man named, who was connected to the previous government, I knew that was a non-starter. Then when we discovered that before they took power, that Grace Bay had written a letter requesting cars from the executive, from NASCAR, and no action was taken. And then we heard about the investigation on the $600,000, and he came up publicly and praised the person. And because it's a family friend, I'm not going to call her name, and I do respect my friends for that matter, okay? Then, when the government came to power, and the asset recovery people went in the streets and started to snatch vehicles without forensic investigation. Then, when they had their retreat, and Mamaka announced 285 machines coming, no PPCC, no nothing, and with an inflated value of 80 million, and nothing happened. And then I started to criticize the government. Then June 26, LDEA, up to October 4th, nothing. That's when I was convinced that this government was not going to go anywhere unless some drastic actions were taken. So I believe it's getting late. But it is not late yet because it's only 9 months. The president doesn't bring in John Molu, or people at his caliber, bring in the Alex Coffey, bring in the Dr. Broplet type, bring in the Albert type, and other professionals at that world-class level. I'm sorry to say, but Joe Boyka does not have a world-class cabinet. And George Weah didn't, so you failed. Ellen had a world-class cabinet. Richard Tolbert, UBS Vice President, Anthony Saye, and other Liberian luminaries like Dr. Craig Stonier. They came, and with a support staff of other internationalists like George Soros, Dr. Eric Worker, right? Steve Radelet, and those kinds of people who brought instant credibility to the administration. So this is my appeal to President Boyka.
What happened?
This is my appeal to President Boycott. President Boycott, I'm a big muff man. Don't call me. But there are tens of thousands of Liberians out there who don't have a big muff. Lisa Cooper from Johns Hopkins, right? People like Victor Hoekstrom, president of PBS in Kansas. Okay, Dr. Joe Besa. Okay, my friend Gia Dixon, financial analyst. People like people like Ava Tukwa, who loves his country. People like Francis Chenoweth, across party line. You need to reform this government to reflect the intellectual capacity of the new Liberia. Those people that you have in the mansion, and I'm going to call their names. My cousin-in-law, former cousin-in-law, Steve Chikwa has a son, but my cousin, the late mommy, they can't help you. Sylvester Grisby can't help you. The Marie Nimlin, they can't help you. And those other people you call economic advisor, I'm sorry, they can't help you.
That monologue or that dialogue?
Yes. In the 9 months, that you have been president.
Oh, no.
I will just finish. Give me 30 seconds. In the 9 months that you have been president, there has not been one single major occurrence with a world leader, with a world business leader, besides that little cockamamie exchange you have with Elon Musk. You don't have ambassadors to support your government like the George Soros type. Other internationalists like Ellen Hart, Tony Blair, and others. You need that kind of star power to rebrand Liberia. If you don't do it, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. And thanks for you, Stanton, for giving me this long opportunity to vent. And because I'm 71 years old, I'm entitled to it. So thank you very much for letting me vent. And
but you be venting even before power. He said
Mamalu did say that they said he was too strict to be in the government. Call John Maluna and ask him. And if he denies it, that's his business. But this is what he told me.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your closing. Dr. Brooklyn.
Thank you, Stanton. Most of my professional life, I have been in leadership. When I wasn't in leadership, I learned some important lessons. To respect the leader, because the leader is not always the smartest person, but the leader is the person with authority, because authority doesn't depend on your resume, it depends on your position. In leadership, I learned some vital lessons. 1, always respect the people you lead. 2, expect them to respect you. But what I learned the most that has helped in leadership is remind people of our purpose. Why are we here in the first place? Why are we together? Why are we on this team? What is it we're supposed to be doing? And then don't let the minors become the majors. Keep people focused on the big picture. And so I think that's needed now at Public Works and in every agency. So I pray that when the president comes, he would take some action that will move us in the right direction. I'm very hopeful that he would do so, because I know he wants to move this country forward. And there's so many Liberians all across the length and breadth of this country who desire just that. So we remain hopeful that we are moving to a better place. Zero tolerance for these kinds of behavior, for corruption, will help this country go far faster. And I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Dr. Boclair. Sivan?
Yes. The situation of unlocking value in our economy, there's just some fundamental things. Let's take, for example, the simple thing like the bill for Samuel 12. If we had like a pre-check system, somebody bringing a horse to put up as a bill entity. Simply check what is the status of that house with regards to taxes and everything, or any kind of encumbrances. So it just showed the lack of connection in government that really limits efficiency and cause unnecessary, headache with one agency, one institution offering something, but then you come by and check now, the house got tax on it, or the house not owned by the individual, and then, LRA can't account for that house having that value. So we need systems in place. We need something in my mind that's called a technology czar in Liberia, a person, whether he in the president office or he independent, that can find all these inconsistencies, inefficiencies, unresponsiveness or unconnectivity in government, that he can link government together. Because the thing, I don't want to say it's simple, but it's doable for us. Everything we want to do in Liberia has been done somewhere. We just have to customize it for us. Okay? And systems will help us, technology will help us so much faster, and it can force people to learn. Not just breaking computer to your job because you want be input, you want to take money from people. No. Those kind of people, you fire them immediately when you find out when they're trying to compromise the system. So we have to take ourselves to that next level of thinking. We got to get our national identification. We got to start using the government systems that are supposed to be support system for government, whether that telco from a data perspective, whether that national identification registry for biometric perspective, whether that telco again for government-wide email, for government consistency across website. So many government agencies don't even have a website that you're supposed to go to when they're supposed to be, according to the Freedom of Information Act, providing information for the public or for other people who want to research information on Liberia. So there's huge limitations in terms of us connecting as a country. Now we got Starlink coming in. Starlink can revolutionize our country, but are we prepared to embrace Starlink and to utilize it? We'll be able to make sure all the immigration offices are interconnected, all the custom offices are interconnected, the port of entry, they're all coordinated. There's just so much that can be done if we have systems in Liberia, so we need that. But let me go to the list here. Or transfer recipients on this $15.7 million. Mampo River says, where the minors then were trapped, they say they're getting $250,000. That's 2% of the money. I asked in the Riverside chat room, did we see this money? Somebody said no. So how was that money spent? What did the disaster management people do? We need to understand. EPS, $1.123 million for armored vehicles.
When I'm resident, investigate.
No, but you got to investigate the kind of amount. If they say for disaster for a county, you don't know whether it left from the Ministry of Finance and actually went to the county. If it did go to the county, then what did the county do with it? So somebody saying no is not the answer. You still have to investigate and have some preponderance of evidence for you to arrest people. You can't just arrest people like that. Then the House of Representatives, who I was saying is supposed to be the ones that would legalize this thing, if they approve that means illegal, they took 20%, $3 million on that money. Okay? Lady to do reports, 453 in the 9 months. What kind of report would I see from Lady? Miscellaneous, where they can explain it, 2.3 million, that 15% of that 15.7 million. Then you come out of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, $665,000 they took, that 4%. The Ministry of State, 1.2 million, 8%. NSA, that one about covert operation, you can't even understand it, 2.5 million, 16%. Then the Senate now, they took 1.6 million for 10%. Those agencies I just mentioned are 84% of that money. Yes, some other people took little, but the majority right there, 3 and 3, 6, 9 transactions or 9 agencies took 84%. So was that extra budget necessary? And the thing is, they just had recast, 2 recast budgets. So how can you anticipate all these kind of expenses and not incorporate it into the budget, and you say you found 45 million on top of it? So I don't understand the thinking in government sometimes, and whether people in government just assume everybody is just stupid to just accept anything they do. You know, sometimes it's very painful because so much could be saved, so much could be used for our people. I was just looking at the telecommunication stuff, the internet provider, the telecommunication, the scratch card. Yeah, Stanton, I see you praying for me to stop. Okay, yeah. I can stop them, but man, it's painful when there could be so much more efficiency in our system, so much more revenue collected, and so much more impactful social programs can be done for our young people, for our women, and that whole empowerment about liberalization that Francine was talking about. I ain't gonna go into that tomorrow morning. I will talk about it on my own business show. It's so serious.
Thank you. Abba, thank you very much, Dr. Bopla, as always. Thank you, Uncle Sam. Thank you a lot, Sister Glendy. Mr. Eduardo, hang on till the show got over. Excuse me?
He not closed? Dr. Bopla not closed?
Yes, everybody closed.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Everybody closed. Don't want to say, Damo, come on. I want to say thanks, folks. Join us again tomorrow.
Can I say something to you, please? I beg you.
Yes, sir.
So if President Boyka says to John Molu, the people say you're difficult to work with, what does that mean, Stanton? How do you interpret that?
First of all, I do not believe that President Boyka said that to John Malou.
He said that. He said that to him. And I just went through my notes.
Can I jump you on that one, Sam?
But you
I went through my notes. Stanton, I have it in my notes.
Okay. Uncle Sam.
I said contemporaneous notes.
God's way. Folks want to say thanks for joining us.
Yes, you're difficult to work with. That's why he told John Molu.
Have a good Friday.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
That's what he said, right? That's what he said.
That's difficult to work with. Not the other one.
You want to placate the president now, but that's what the president said.
So again, I want to appreciate.
That's what your president said.
Okay, Abba, thank you very much. Thank you. It's good to see you, Uncle Sam. Thank you very much, Uncle Sam. Again, I will speak to John Molu and I will ask him. I will not believe what you are saying.
You say you were difficult to work with, Stanton. That's what he said.
You can repeat it 100. You can repeat it 100 more times. Again, I will reach out to John Molu and ask him.
On the show.
Okay, John Molu is okay. He got his own thing going on, and we wish him and his family well. I'm not going to call John Molu on the show tonight because you asking me to. But Uncle Sam, it's always good having you.
My credibility is at stake. Call John Molu.
Uncle Sam, thank you very much. I am not calling John Molu because thank you very much, Uncle Sam. I don't know where the public coming from, Damo. Seriously. When he was young, he was very forceful. And you understand where he's from. He was very, very forceful. I want to say thanks to folks again. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening and have a good night. We will be here. Amen. Amen. Why will you do this to the beginning? I've discussed a lot on this already.
Let me read. Let me say wait on me. Let me read.
Why will you do this to the beginning? Amen. Listen, I'm trying to hang on, but you have a good night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow by God's grace. Thank you, folks.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll turn off Spoon Talk for now. Switch it off. Bring down the curtains if you want to use that expression. Nelson Colette is going to come up in a few minutes with Late Night Politics on Spoon. My name is Diamond Slanger. Thank you for watching and bidding you a farewell. Bye-bye.